This is the X&C Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Mag, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, X&C Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox newscast. Welcome to the X&C Podcast. How is everybody doing? This is episode 175, and welcome back to the show. Mag, what is up?
Well, I got to tell you, listen, my brother had to borrow my lighting system because he had a production shoot tonight. And so that's why one side of me looks kind of lighted and the other side looks at me kind of scary. So I kind of look like Two-Face from Batman, right? Or the Shadow from like the 90s or from the 30s, depending on how old you are. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to look like tonight. But listen, the voice ain't changing. But anyways, I'll have I have my lighting system back in effect next week when he's done his shoots. Anyways, I am doing very well.
You're such a good friend. I turned this light off, so this side of me is a little darker, just so that we could feel comfortable together.
So we can have half faces for the entire show.
Yeah, and why not? You got one less light burning your cornea while we do the show.
Yeah, no kidding, right? But yes, I am doing great. It's been an exciting week. I was away for most of last week. I was back on the weekend, so starting to catch up on gaming again. And of course, I did not miss a step with the gaming news because I basically did victory laps all last week for well, I don't have to explain over and over again. Hashtag Mag was right. But anyways. How are you doing, Colt? What have you been doing, buddy?
I'm doing really good. Shout out to Lord Obi in the chat, who's also channel moderator when he's hanging out. But shout out to Obi. He's been a longtime friend. I would say he goes back 6 years probably from the RDX fan. Not fan. RDX friend group is what I meant to say. Like all of us who hang out on party chats and everything. And he hit me up the other day and he's like, "Yo, Colt, I thought you were on TikTok because I saw a couple of your videos about the new consoles and stuff, and it turns out some guy on TikTok was recording a minute of my videos and uploading them on TikTok, and Obi said this guy made $500, $700 on 5 of my video clips that went like viral-ish for him, and I was like, all right. What? So I went in there and claimed them because it's just my content. One of them, like, it has like my cinematic intro, and then I'm like, "What's going on? This is Colteastwood." It's like my face on his TikTok. So I claimed those, and then we got on Discord chat, and he's like, "Dude, you need to set up a TikTok and just put short form stuff that from what you're making." So you and I may appear on TikTok if we, when we have some crazy moments. But shout out to him. Follow me over there. It's Colteastwood. I've got 5 or 6 little videos up there, and everyone's like, "TikTok, really?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
I'm on there.
And I've been going through a thing lately where I've just kind of like a fire lit under me, and I'm just making more content. I made 3 videos last week, and the weekly news videos are actually kind of turning around. I didn't think they would. And shout out to like Riskit and Fonz and Holly and you and a bunch of people. Riskit the punk. People who just said, "Hey man, stick with it." And I've been pretty happy. But we're here to talk about games for the most part of that. But I've been good. I've been playing. I spent all day today playing a game I cannot talk about, and it's
really?
It's not what you think. I've also been playing another game that I cannot talk about yet, and that one could be what you think. And it's just going to be very busy, and I've been playing the crap out of Death Stranding. I'm in love with the game. And what about you, Mag?
You know what? When I was away, I brought my Series S with me, and I was playing Call of Duty during the week when I wasn't flopping around in the water park like an old man and doing what I was doing. And so at night or whenever when I wasn't partying and this and that, I was playing Call of Duty all week. So did that. I think I'm at just over 700 out of 1,000 achievement points for all you Xbox frauds out there that not getting any achievements. Come see me. Come see me. I'll show you how to do it. I just finished the campaign on Veteran, so that was worth 100 achievement points right there. I finished all the campaign-related achievements. Now I've moved on to zombies, and I think I'm missing 3 zombies achievements, and I've got about half of the multiplayer. So I'm almost done. I think I got about 200 and maybe 275, 280 achievements to get the 1,000. So and then I'll move on from there. But Awesome. So that's what I've been doing there. And I'm on the final mission for Avatar. So I'm almost done that game because I dropped it for a while. I haven't been playing it the whole time. So I dropped it for a while when Call of Duty came out. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to move on to hopefully, God willing, but unlikely, that Sony has some kind of a Black Friday deal, so I could buy some of those games I was talking about that I want to get for the PS5 Pro, because I want to put them through their paces, like Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Silent Hill 2, and I think that was it. Those are the three that I was eyeballing the most. And maybe I'll get Star Wars Outlaws if they reduce it down to about $2.86. Then I'll buy it. But yeah, until then, that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So yeah, and then we got a lot going on. We got Stalker 2 coming out this week, right? Is it Thursday?
I think so. Wednesday or Thursday. Like, my head is spinning. It's
dude,
been so
much
nuts
stuff going on, man. Yeah. So we got Stalker 2 coming out Thursday, which is the 22nd, and then Monday Monday. Then a couple of weeks later, 3 weeks later, we have Indy Jones. Barely even 3 weeks. It's like 2.5 weeks or something later. Indy Jones drops. So that takes us right into the holiday season. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and of course, Call of Duty dropped its season 1. So that's going on. The ranked play is now. I think it's open in like 2 days. Thank God. Okay, so I can get all the sweaty people out of like the normal game mode, so I can play like with normal human beings, not these insane robots that I don't know how the hell they're so good. But anyways, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. And then I watched the Tyson sparring exercise on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, is that okay if we talk about that for a minute, audience? So,
well, I mean, did anybody expect otherwise? Like, how could people get mad? Like, did they actually think they were going to go out there and it was going to be like Rocky Balboa in his final fight against Mason the Lion Dixon? Did you think it was going to go 15 rounds with blood pouring down their faces and this and that? Welcome to Rocky Land.
I mean, they said it wasn't just an expedition. Like, they were, I don't know, but you got to sell tickets, but.
It's just a promotion. That's all it was in the end of the day. And it got Tyson a nice $20 million payday on top of all the sponsorships that he got. So he probably walked away with like anywhere between $50 and $80 million for one night.
Everybody
Why not,
involved.
man? I'd do it too.
Netflix made a killing. Everybody involved made a killing off that. But the fight before was Serrano and Katie Holmes. No, the fight was with Serrano and Katie. I can't remember her last name. Was amazing. Like, it was, the whole entire fight was amazing. And and then it paled when you saw Tyson and Jake Paul step in the ring. It was like, I just couldn't help feel. My brother texted me and said, "Glass Joe won," because that's like
and
really what it looked like.
Well, the crazy thing is that for the most part, I had to stream it illegally because Netflix was down. There was like 60 million users that couldn't even watch it because it just buffered right out, and it would just sit there on a black screen, so you could hear the audio but no video. And I tried it on multiple devices. I tried it everywhere, nothing. And then I was just like, okay, what the hell's going on with this? So I ended up having to go to like one of those illegal like streaming, like sports streaming sites, and then I had to watch it there. Like, sorry, Netflix, I tried to do the legal thing, but you drove me off to do the illegal thing. This is kind of like Breaking Bad.
They were probably happy you did. One person off the servers.
Yeah, no kidding. This is like Breaking Bad. Like the American health system, he had to go make a crystal meth just to pay his bills. If he was in Canada, there'd be no show. He just go to the hospital for free. Anyways, all joking aside.
Was the Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano fight? Did she get robbed? That was like the big argument that night and the next.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I didn't really see it that way. You know what I saw? I saw a war, and it was magnificent to watch. I mean, I know it's such a brutal sport, and people get hurt and this and that, and boxing and UFC and all that, but it was pretty remarkable to watch the entire thing go down. I'm like, that was the highlight of the entire the card was that match. Yeah. But a lot of celebrities in the crowd, a lot of fun people there. Big names. I think 50 Cent was there, which was kind of fun. He's always somewhere with his fancy suit and his big smile and whatever else. But
Hip Hop Gamer was there. Paris was there. No, Hip Hop Gamer wasn't there, but Paris and Danny were there, and who else?
Oh, were they?
There? Yeah. I don't know if Jeff Keighley was there. I put up a poll, Mag, while we were talking, and I said,
"Yes,
what topic would you guys like to talk about first?" And right now, just barely eking out ahead is the Game of the Year discussion. So if that ends up settling out here in a minute, we may start with that.
Well, I have a nomination that Jeff Keighley did not think about. I mean, there's Game of the Year, there's DLC of the Year, there's ongoing Game of the Year, but there's one category that was never talked about, and that was Drink of the Year. And Drink of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one nomination and there's only one winner. And you know who that is? That's 4XP Energy Drink. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 4XP Energy Drink, 4xpgaming.com. You got to go to that website. You got to go check them out. You got to go see what's going on over there. If you're worried about the caffeine, like some of the other ones, like Monster and Red Bull and whatever the hell else they got out there, heartexplosion.com, because they put so much caffeine, your eyeballs fall out of your head. Listen, you could drink 17 servings and you would still, before you even hit the caffeine daily limit each day, 50, never mind 50 cent at the boxing match. You know what? 50 cent was at the boxing. 4XP has 50 servings per bucket. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 50 servings. So never mind 50 cent, 50 servings. That's what we're talking about tonight. 50 servings. The cool thing is, I actually, when I was away, I went away with another family.
You could sell me uranium toothpaste, Mag. Keep going.
I'm going to do so. Uranium toothpaste, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a nuclear smile.
I can almost taste this 4XP, and the pre-orders are supposed to start shipping out in like 2 weeks. The very first part of December. So anyway, keep going.
Well, I was going to say, so I went on vacation. It was not only my family, but it was another family that lives on my street, and they were at the room across from us in the resort. And of course, me and the dude were hanging out at night and smoking cigars and drinking beer and this and that. And so I was talking about 4XP, and I'm like, yeah, dude, we're sponsoring this 4XP thing. And he goes, show me the website. So I showed him the website. He was farting around with it. He was going up and down. He goes, you know what he said, which is funny, because when we spoke to the guys from 4XP, they're like, oh, we kind of set up like our, the main page, like kind of like you're picking a character from Mortal Kombat, and the character has a backstory and this and that. So anyways, he gets on it, and he starts clicking the different characters, like Grave Walker. And sorry, it's my favorite one to say. Yeah. And what he ended up saying, he says, oh, cool, it's kind of like Mortal Kombat. so like, he's not even he's a Nintendo gamer, but it was kind of cool that without even having to like provoke it, he actually got the same vibe. And he's like, oh, cool, it's like Mortal Kombat. It's like a character, you click on it, it says its name, and then there's a whole backstory. And then of course, then it shows you the flavor, the artwork on the tubs. Absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on these things, because as soon as I get my hands on these things, it's an all-out blitz, man. I'm showing everybody this stuff. This is going to be in people's stockings at Christmas time, under the tree, wherever. Okay, yeah, I'm going to shove it right inside that stocking. You're just going to see this big tub sitting inside of there. You won't be able to fit a Toblerone in sight. But anyways,
beauty. 4XP, so how do people get a hold of it, and how? What's the details on that? I put a link in the description. They can get 4XP.
Good. What you've got to do is you've got to go to the website, 4xpgaming.com. And then from there, you'll see it right away. As soon as you get on there, it'll say that they're taking pre-orders right away. And then you start getting in there. And the crazy thing is, I couldn't believe it. And there actually, some of the pre-orders are already sold out.
Oh, dang.
So you got to, yes, I know. I'm super excited about that. I'm very pumped that they're already starting to sell out. So guys, gals, get to the website quickly. Try and get your pre-orders in before they sell out. This thing is moving faster than a PS5 Pro. And you know what? There's still PS5 Pros available, but there's no 4XP gaming available. You know why? Because it's a performance upgrade that you're going to need in order to be able to prestige in Call of Duty. But anyways, 4XP.com.
Thank you, Meg. Meg, you are so good at that. Shout out to our sponsor, 4XP Gaming. Also, shout out to Connor Garrity, who gives a €24 super chat. Thank you so much. Says Game Awards are so effed up. I think Meg should step up Game Awards for players. Meg's Mega Gamer Award.
I am going to do that next year. Next year on my channel, I will be hosting a Game Awards on my channel. And you know what? Nobody will be invited except for gamers. That's it. You guys will vote in the chat. It'll be live, and that's all there is to it. There's going to be nothing on the stage. There's going to be nothing going on. It's just going to be me, Colt, and 4XP, and the three of us are going to sit around with our tubs.
With no pants on.
We're going to pick Game of the Year awards with no pants on, and we're going to pick all the Game of the Year awards right then and there. But listen, how did the poll end up?
Let's see here.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
Game of the Year pulled away, buddy.
It sounds like everybody likes a lot of the topics, so yeah, probably Game of the Year. We got BT Maverick. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says, don't forget Black Ops 6. Diablo 4 is Xbox first party, so are their nominations along with Hellblade 2. Since DLCs and expansions are full games now, Shattered Space, according to Jeff, Xbox has been cooking. Well, BT, appreciate you, but I don't remember how the Diablo 4 expansion scored, but Shattered Space is like a 53, so it wasn't going to get nominated. We'll get into that in just a second. Literal Table 756, thank you so much for the Canadian $7 super. Says, all I want from the Game Awards this year is Fallout Show winning Best Adaptation and Black Ops 6 winning at least one of its 4 nominations. Other than that, I don't give a fudge, he says. So we appreciate you.
They'll win something.
Yeah.
They'll win something. Like, they usually win like something. They're not going to walk away with nothing. But like when it comes to Game of the Year, listen, if we're gonna dive into it, we're gonna dive into it. But I've said it before. I'm gonna say it again. I am literally not surprised at all, except for one thing. One game surprised me, and that was that. God damn it! Is it Balantro or is it Balatro? I can't remember.
I don't even know what it looks like. That's yeah. I don't even know.
It's like a $14 card game. I heard it's fun. But I mean, give me a break. But you know they always have to throw one indie in there, and that's kind of fair. They usually do that. Now, again, this is not Jeff. Okay, and this is not Damage Control, people. Okay, don't freak out. It's not Jeff that picks these. Okay, it's the actual critics that pick them, and then a lot of them apparently they were the ones who actually were saying we want Shadow of the Air Tree as an option this year or whatever. It's not him, and then he said, okay, fine. So he has in the end he had to make the decision to say, okay, yes. So it was up to him in the end. However, yes, it is what it is, but. Once again, as I had predicted, Asian domination, ladies and gentlemen. Asian domination. Mm-hmm. It is a little bit of China, a whole lot of Japan, and a little bit of Korea, all thrown in there. And it's exactly what I said this year: is that Western gaming developers have lost their way. Not all of them, but some of them, and that's my controversial take for the week. And they have lost their way because they're too busy with identity politics and nonsense and fighting and this and that and what. Hey, like, just make a goddamn game that's great, man. Just make a game that's awesome, that's great, and everybody has a good time with it, and leave all that other stuff at home, because when I go to be entertained, I don't want to anything. I don't care about what you're into. I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't in my video games. I just leave me alone. Just let me play a game. Bloody beast, or I'm dealing with an army or this and that. Yes, I understand that politics in that.
All right.
Because you have an oppressive government that you're trying to overthrow or this and right, and then just you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your connection is a little bit choppy. Not like it was last time.
Again with this crap?
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on, let me look at the feed. It's all right. It was cutting out just a little bit. I'm just going to give you a heads up if it does, but
that's the deep state. That's the deep state attacking me.
Yeah, they are.
It's the deep state, man. They're coming after me.
I'm going to kind of go.
This is my last show ever. You know.
I'm going to go from the bottom up on this, on the nominations, and go quickly through the crap that we probably don't care about as much. Best adaptation is Arcane, sure. Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, and Tomb Raider. That's weird because I think I remember the Like a Dragon adaptation was not well liked by fans, and neither was the Tomb Raider one. But Arcane and Fallout are like the top of that TV app or TV or movie adaptation of video games. Meg, what do you think about the best adaptation for entertainment? I guess they call it. What wins for you?
I would have to imagine, judging by how everybody's been feeling about it and the general reception, I think that there's no question that it's going to be Fallout is pretty much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, people I don't know. It just seems like really hopped up on Arcane too.
Push towards it. Arcane is another big one, but like I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe Arcane in the end wins, but. You know, the thing was with Fallout, first of all, I don't think it was that great of a show. I watched it twice. I watched it once in February, 3 months before it came out, I with the producer of the show. And I thought, I'm like, all right, it's okay.
You're botting again a little bit.
There were points of it where it was great, and then it kind of, I gave it Christ. Fuck.
I don't know why.
Swear words. Huh? I don't know what the hell's going on, man. And I uninstalled, I reinstalled everything, and
Yeah, I can't remember who told you that, but I'm like, would that really do anything? But whatever. I think that was what Ante said to do.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Like, I've got full everything across the board here, man.
Yeah, I know. It's good now.
And this is what happened last time. It was like the first half of the show did the same last time, and then the second half of the show was totally fine. It was like a 15-minute something in there, and I don't know what the hell it is.
It's never happened before.
And like,
been on this show like 50 times or something.
No, that's the crazy thing. Well, more than that, it's like 75 shows we've done, or 70-something shows we did together.
Probably.
Yeah, nothing ever. And all of a sudden, the last 2 weeks, God damn it. Anyways, I gave Fallout like a 6.5 or 7 out of 10.
Wow,
I think it was not
worth
like any more than that.
8.5.
However,
I mean, I wouldn't score a show, but I loved it. I loved it a lot.
Yeah, they did, and that's what I was saying. The general consensus was that it was very good. I think like some people were just getting a little carried away with it because they started turning it into a console war thing, which is stupid. It's a show, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
But Arcane, I think, is the pull away winner. I think like that might be the one that wins in the last 15 yards of the race. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of goes neck and neck, and all of a sudden I think it'll pull ahead because again, I think the critical reception for Arcane was a lot higher. But I'd have to check that unless somebody wants to community note me right now.
I don't know. I think it's between Arcane and Fallout for the win.
Yes, absolutely. But I think Arcane it's Arcane by a nose.
Yeah. Most anticipated game for 2025. Interesting that Fable isn't on here, but maybe it's because the Xbox hasn't like tripled down that it's going to be 2025. But the anticipated games, I mean, there's a bunch of anticipated games like Doom, the Dark Age is going to be there next year. What else is going to be there from just Xbox alone? Doom, the Dark Ages, Avowed, Fable, maybe Clockwork Revolution. Tom Warren saying that maybe Gears E-Day would be there, but
no,
but I don't think so.
It won't. No, Gears of War is not coming in 2025. Not a chance.
Yeah.
You also forgot about South of Midnight's coming.
South of Midnight. Okay. Yes, South of Midnight's coming as well. I don't know. I mean, that we might talk about that later on at the end of the show. But here's a listing of most anticipated games: Death Stranding 2 on the beach, dumbest name ever. So stupid. I don't know. I just don't like the name, but I'm excited for it. Ghost of Yotei.
It sounds like a
It sounds like what does it sound like?
Sounds like I don't know. It sounds like a porno.
Yeah, it does.
Death Stranding on the beach.
Ghost of
Milk's Gone
Yotei,
Wild, Part 7.
Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid 4.
That's gonna.
Monster Hunter Wilds. What's gonna win?
Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna win. Grand Theft Auto 6. There's not even a conversation.
Yeah.
Not even a conversation to be had. And then, you always gonna get the one guy who's be like, oh well, I don't like.
Okay. You're botting in. How about this, Mag? How about
and I'm like,
this?
dude, we're not talking about you. The whole world is waiting for Grand Theft Auto.
Here,
do
show
this for a minute.
Do this. Just go reset your router, and I'll talk solo for the 3 minutes while it restarts.
Yeah.
Yeah, just reset the internet router, whatever. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll get him back on here because I don't know. It's not like it's gonna like fix itself. Like he's gonna break through the internet and pull all the wires together with his magical unicorn juices. I think GTA 6 wins that. And Ghost of Yotei is like really anticipated by, several million people, but Grand Theft Auto 6, that's like 50 million people probably want to play that. Best esports games, no one cares. Best esports game, no one cares. Best esports athlete, no one cares. Content creator of the year, no one cares. I'm just being rude, but you guys don't want me sitting here and talk about that. Best multiplayer game is Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2. Super Mario Party Jamboree, didn't even know existed. Tekken 8 and Warhammer 40K Space Marine with its light amount of cooperative gameplay. Okay. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think, audience? Is it between Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Helldivers 2? Is Helldivers 2 going to win? I think maybe who was it that said it was darn it. It might have been Modern Vintage Gamer. One of the content creators I really love today said, I don't think some of these nominations click because The Game Awards should be all about bringing the industry forward and advancing it and making it better and pushing the envelope with things that really take the world by storm. And a great Call of Duty game doesn't really fit in that category for me. But Helldivers 2 did take the world by storm. So I don't know. What do you think? But I think it's between Call of Duty and Helldivers. Here's the next one. Best sim strategy game, Age of Mythology Retold. Didn't like it. Frostpunk 2. That one was pretty popular. Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess. And it says Patch of the Goddess in here. Manor Lords and Unicorn Overlord. Let me look at the chat and see what you guys are saying here. Xbox game versus PlayStation game. Helldivers is going to win. Laugh out loud, Tug or not. Yeah. No, and Mag and I didn't like Helldivers 2. I didn't see the magic in it, but it took the world by storm for 3 months, and then PC guys took over and floated that game because it was dying on PlayStation. Console wars. I don't know, between best sim and strategy game. I don't know, Frostpunk 2 maybe. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. I'll check that back because I'll look at both. In fact, let me pop out the chat here so I can see both at the same time if that will work. I know it can take like 10 minutes to get your internet reset, so thank you, Meg, for being patient. All right. Brad War Fight says this is a simulation for how fast the war reads will breed off. Yeah, that really is. Jeff Keighley. He's a fan favorite, isn't he? Best family game is Astrobot versus Princess Peach Snowtime. Never heard of it. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Heard of it 5 minutes ago. The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. I don't think that one hit that well. And the Plucky Squire, which was very, very... Plucky Squire was a multi-plat that... so almost all those were on Nintendo. Plucky Squire probably is on Nintendo as well. Everyone was really excited about it, but I don't know, it didn't do that well. Best family game definitely goes to Astrobot, I think. Infinite Umbra is standing over there for his Metaphor Refantasia. I know, I see you, bro. I see you. Best fighting game comes down to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Marvels versus Capcom Arcade Classic. Oh my gosh. Come on, Jeff Keighley and his crew. Multiverses? That was this year? Is Multiverses the one with Scooby-Doo and all that crap? Wow. Unfortunately, the chat's going to be a little bit behind me, but yikes. Really? Multiverses and Tekken 8? I don't know. I'm not going to pick because I don't like fighting games, but guys, what is the best fighting game? Hurry up and write it, and I will check. Okay. You ready to move on to best RPG? And I'll try and keep an eye on that. Best RPG. Now, honestly, for me, this year has been pretty tough. A lot of games came out that weren't my thing, and I tried them or I didn't want to play them, so this was a tough one. Best RPG is NC saying Tekken 8, so it's Brad War Fight for a fighting game. All right, Mag's coming back as soon as he's on camera. We'll get him back on here.
He's on camera.
There we are. All right, say
there
something.
We are.
For some reason,
say something.
I can't hear you, but let me look. You're not muted. Say something again.
Check one.
What?
Microphone.
It says he's
check
talking.
One. He's talking.
Okay, let me check another thing. Talk again.
Talk again.
Okay, you're showing up in the show. I think they can hear you, but I can't hear you. Hold on 1 second. Let me reset this.
That's going to be hard to fight. It's going to be hard to argue with each other.
That shouldn't happen that way. Hang on, Meg. That's weird.
I don't know what's going on, man, but
There,
the last couple of weeks has been absolutely ridiculous for the tech. And we got top-notch tech, man.
Oh, you sound great, bro. That is so weird. When you came back, I couldn't hear you, but but everybody else could.
Yeah, that's crazy.
See,
I don't know what the hell's
didn't
going
freak
on,
out. I didn't freak out. I stayed calm. All right. Let me close this chat here. All right, we're talking about the best RPG. I'm just getting into the best RPG. Here are the nominations, Mag. Dragon's Dogma 2. Loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy VII, Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. And Metaphor, Refantasio. What wins best RPG?
Well, this is going to be strategic. And what's going to end up happening is I think that Metaphor is going to win best RPG because it's not going to win Game of the Year. So they're going to give Game of the Year. This is what I'm calling right now. You can clip me on this, especially the guys I don't like. I would say that Metaphor ReFantazio is going to win Best RPG, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to win Game of the Year.
Okay.
That's what I think is going to happen. And so because of that, you have to deal with the politics of how an awards show works, right? They're not going to give a clean sweep on something unless it's absolutely obvious across the board that the game is going to win Game of the Year and everything else, right? Like there's nothing, like it's so far away from everything else that there's no chance anything else has. So because everything is actually a lot closer this year, that's what I think is going to happen. They're going to give RPG to Metaphor.
Okay. I'm on board with that.
Sorry.
But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as an RPG is a pretty good competitor as well.
Yes, but they're going to give Game of the Year to that.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, whether you like it or not, that's what's going to happen.
I mean, I'm not against a sweep. I think they can sweep and just give
it's
Elden
possible.
Ring a bunch of stuff too.
Well, I don't think Elden Ring's going to win it. I think it's just there. I think it's just there just to recognize the job they did with that RPG, because essentially that RPG is like a full game in itself. Right.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, for example, like Blood and Wine. Remember that? Like Blood and Wine, if anybody remembers, I think it was 2016 or no, 2017. I think it was 2017. That's the DLC for The Witcher 3 for anybody who didn't know. That actually won RPG of the Year, and it was a friggin' DLC. So before anybody starts having complete meltdowns about Shadow of the Erdtree in there, a DLC 7 years ago won RPG of the Year. So I just like to point that out.
Jeez, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, I found that out this morning, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, I didn't know either. I didn't know either until this morning. So I did find that out, and it turns out that was actually the case. So it shall be interesting. I think it's there for honorable mention, but I don't think it's going to win any awards. That's just me.
I think the panel knew that it was a light year, and they knew that they're going to have to bring in some expanded content to flesh out the categories. But, I mean, I think it's been kind of a funky year, honestly, and it really has been personally for me. But here's the best action adventure game category, which this one's hilarious. Astrobot, best action adventure game. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, both those well loved. Silent Hill 2 was supposed to suck, but it was really great.
Yeah, that's an action adventure, but okay, all right.
I know, I wouldn't call that either. Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, where you play Zelda. Oh, okay.
No,
action and adventure. Aren't you like carrying around pots and anyway? And then the last one is Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
This is how rough of a year it was that Star Wars Outlaws gets recommended for best action adventure game.
You know what? I don't think it was a rough year. I think it was just really stupid decisions. Star Wars Outlaws is not an action adventure game of the year, not even close to the top of that list. But what they did ignore was Stellar Blade. And from what I've understood from a lot of people who've played it, saying that Stellar Blade is their game of the year. Now, mind you, 3 out of the 5 people I've spoken to who said that have not played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth yet. So let's pump the brakes on that right now, and then let's, you know what I mean? So like I haven't played it yet, but I will play it in the next few weeks. Like I said, hopefully I get that Black Friday deal on Stellar Blade, and I'll pick it up, no problem. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing, is that Stellar Blade. And Stellar Blade is an action adventure game, and it's not even being nominated. I don't get it. And from what people are saying, it's absolutely jaw-dropping, not only visually, but the way it plays and performs, particularly on the Pro. And then it's coming to PC in 2025. So I'm actually quite shocked it's not even there. But you put a buggy, absolute dog water piece of crap, Ubisoft, characters floating like Jesus all over the place kind of game, and you put that in the category, that, my dear friends, is bad politics and bad acting.
I tried to like it. I played it like 4 hours. I just tried. Even after the patch, I'm like, what is this?
Remember, this is the critics, right? This is the critics. And if you notice this year... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just that, people are asking, do you think that the panel should have to prove that they played and finished the game before they put it in cast their vote? I mean, that's obnoxious, but I wish they could. Like, I think if you're going to say, you know what was the best multiplayer game? I don't really play multiplayer games, but everyone really liked Helldivers. I'm putting that one down. That's kind of weird.
Well, see, the thing is, though, that you could apply that to anything. The Golden Globes, the Academy Awards.
Class president.
the Grammys, class president, prom queen. You could do it to any of those things. But here's the thing: like for the Academy Awards, how do you know that the people that are part of the Academy, which is mostly the actors, producers, directors, executive producers, whatever else, right? Who says they all saw every single movie? Right? How would you be able to prove that they've watched all
it's only 2 hours.
movies?
It's all 2 hours, and most games are like an 8 to 40 hour, commitment.
Fair.
So
fair.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get it done. But I mean, it's still a job, because if you have to sit down and watch upwards of like 50 or 60 movies, I know some of them are short films and this and that and animated movies, but those are still all like an hour and a half to 2 hours. But yeah, you still have to do it. What would we be able to prove that Jack Nicholson watched every single one of those movies before he voted? Right? Because he's on the board.
No, but I mean,
so like it's kind of hard to say like who
I'm
did
kind
it,
of being
right? It's an honor system.
I'm kind of being dumb about it because 90% of the games that they put down here that we're seeing, I'm sure they played them. Like the next category is Best Action Game, where Stellar Blade shows up. You've got Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Stellar Blade, Warhammer 40K, Space Marine, and Helldivers 2.
Ooh.
I would say those are really, those are really competitive 5 games there. And I would think that everyone who voted on those at least played them or knows enough to put that down there. But I think this one is, I'm going to read it back to you, and then I'll tell you what I think it comes down, the 2 that it comes against, and then you can tell me yours. Black Myth Wukong, Black Ops 6, Stellar Blade, Warhammer, Helldivers. I think it is between Action Game, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40K. What do you think?
Really?
Man? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Now, I'm only going to say this not because I agree. I'm just telling you how I think it's going to go down. I think it's going to be Stellar Blade or Helldivers 2. Okay. And only because of the massive popularity of Helldivers 2. Now, I found Helldivers 2, like, at first, I was like, ooh, this is awesome. And then it got really boring. And then I dropped it after about 20 hours, maybe 25 hours I gave to that game, and I was done. I was just bored. But it doesn't matter. The thing is, it still held the zeitgeist, and like basically, it stayed in conversation for many months. Right. And it still is in conversation for many months, and it's still holding a lot of players. Like the engagement of players are still pretty high. So I think the popularity of that is going to take some people's emotion into it. And I think between the 2, it's a really tough choice, but I'm starting to lean towards Helldivers 2 is going to win that, even though I don't think it deserves it. I think Stellar Blade, from what I've seen and what I've been told.
Wow.
Me personally, I would pick Stellar Blade, but Helldivers 2 seems to be the winner.
Okay. You hung
we shall
up for...
see. We're gonna go back and revisit this.
Okay. I mean, this is gonna be going on for the next 2 weeks. Innovation, accessibility. Well, we can talk about that another time. It's important, but best VR game. I'll talk to the audience here. Best community support. Baldur's Gate versus Final Fantasy, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky. I don't care. Fortnite wins best community support. The game is incredible, and every update is phenomenal and well loved. And I don't know. Baldur's Gate 3 is well loved by everybody, but Fortnite is like if you're talking about how you get it done to give people content they can play all the time, Fortnite does it. I don't know. Mag, you still there? Still good? Oh, maybe not. Hold on. Okay, well, as soon as I hear him back, I'll come back to the camera. That was weird. He reset everything, and everything was really, really good. So let me look over here. Yeah, okay. All right. Best mobile game. No one cares. Wait, is Balatro's in there? Yeah, who cares? Okay, best debut indie game. This was pretty cool. Indies have been killing it. Animal Well, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, Plucky Squire, Balatro. I don't know anything about these games other than Balatro is well loved. Card game, everybody loves it. It's probably going to win. I would think the panel would all unanimously vote for that. Best indie game, Animal Well, UFO 50. I've never heard of it. Balatro, Laura Lee and the Laser Eyes, and Neva. I am so out of touch when it comes to some of these smaller games. I don't know. Let me see what the chat says. Fortnite's good shout. Thank you. No, Meg. I don't know. Meg doesn't need a new monitor or new what do you call it? Modem. No, I don't know. This is like a new problem. I don't know what happened. It's fine. It's fine. When I started the show like 3 years ago, I would have been like cold sweating. But you guys are amazing, and you make it so easy to do a show. Appreciate you. Best ongoing game: Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2. Well, come on, Destiny 2. Like, don't the fans hate that now? Aren't they like so like? What's the word? Like scorned from Destiny 2. I don't know about Diablo 4 has had a pretty good run. I kind of think this was down to Fortnite. Helldivers 2, like, what are they doing in that game that's making it like we got to come back and play because it's better than ever and new content? I haven't really heard much about that. What's the chat saying? Zeb says, I'm excited for Stalker 2. I hope you like the Stalker games. I've been talking to Red Wolf, who knows every up and down. He's played the trilogy twice. Yeah, so yeah, BT, I'm gonna get on the indie train. I need to, yes. Red's like talks about how hardcore it is. So if you're into that series and you have some history, that's going to be really cool. I can't say anything about it though. I can always just say, hey, Red Wolf said this. All right. Games for Impact. Life is Strange Double Exposure. Got like a 77 or 75 Metacritic. Got them. Tales of Kazera. Yeah. That's the Prince of Persia style side-scroller Metroidvania game made by the guy in Africa that was well-loved, but didn't score really high. Closer the Distance. I've never heard of it. Intica, Neva, and Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2. Oh my gosh, like Hellblade 2 got 4 nominations, and that game came and went within 3 days. I loved it, but you're going to see here in a minute, it didn't get nominated for Best Art Direction, but, you know, it got bested by the things. Best Performance is Melina Juergens from Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. Luke Roberts from Silent Hill 2. Humberly Gonzalez from Star Wars Outlaws, Best Performance. Okay. All right. Hannah Tell in Life is Strange, and Brianna White from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You guys can probably tell me who Brianna White is. Is it Tifa, or is it the other girl, or is it Sora? Which one is it? Which one is it in Final Fantasy? Is it Sora, the girl with the big blonde hair and the huge key sword, like the key thing? Is that? Nope. Hold on. They're telling me that's a different game. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know my games, I suppose. No, I don't know who Brianna White is. Where is it? Mash, welcome to channel membership. You're here, and then you're here, and you're always here. Appreciate you. Hargeet Chani. Shout out to Hargeet Chani in the chat. And shout out to Lotus Esprit, who waves. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. We've got Grandpa's Barbecue Game Cat with the Australian 5 says, I watch the Game Awards after the fact simply for the future announcements. That way I can fast forward through the awards bit. I like some of the awards bit stuff, but I don't know. Jeff isn't really everybody's favorite right now. He's got such an uphill battle. Eric Goff, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, I find it funny they stacked up the action category like that with all the games that crushed the DEI checklist games. There were so many great action adventure games, and some of them didn't have that much action. So, yeah. We got 20 gifted channel memberships from MASH. Thank you so much, bro. It's so cool. Gifted channel members. So you're now here. You've got access to the custom emojis. We got Malik, E.G. Kenta, Solid White 731, Jax 82, Hargeet Chani, Fantasticals, great name. Chris Coleman, Andy B. Drumming. Where are you at? Oh my gosh, so many. Ravenous Goria, Richard O'Mahony, John Wolf, longtime friend and watcher of the show. BWF Slee, 1989, Torino Johnson, Scorpio, Solid White, Will Brokeboy Lewis, been around here for a while as well. Thank you guys so much. Pushing polygons, good friend. Not in the kitchen. Let me get this back here to see if Mag comes back. There. Oh, wow, it's looking saucy. Looking saucy. Firestorm, Geezer Prime. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading them twice because you guys are chatting. But thank you so much, Mash, for doing that. I really appreciate it. Yeah, there I got the supers. Okay, let me make sure that Mag. No, he's not on yet. Okay, hold on. As soon as I hear him, I will come back. Look at this. Look at me, all by myself, and not scared at all. Not nervous at all. Can't do it. So scared. Appreciate you guys. My internet's doing great for once. All right, let's get it back on to who is Brianna White, by the way? Let me Google it. Brianna White. Well, she has blonde hair and she plays I don't know her name. The blonde one in the game. I don't play the game. I don't play Final Fantasy. I've tried. I don't love them. Somebody's going to correct me. So yeah, wrap it up, Colt. Okay, wrap it up. Best audio design. I'm not even going to read the other ones. It should be Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. It's got 3D surround audio. It pushes the industry forward. I don't care how great the guns sound in Call of Duty or how great the swords sound in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I think it probably should go to Hellblade. And, I like the game. It's great. Whatever. Best score, Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metabirth. What? Metabirth? Is that metaphor? This list, the cultivated list here from Insider Gaming. I think they wrote this up really fast because I'm reading past the issues on it. Silent Hill 2 and Stellar Blade. I heard Stellar Blade's music's really great. Astrobots? I think that would go to Final Fantasy or Stellar Blade. What is the chat saying? Let me see. Do we got Mag yet? No, not yet. Trust me, I've been there when your internet. When I was on Fawn's show and my camera was like, oh, so angry. Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate you. Yeah, what if I did a solo show? That would be terrifying. Best art direction goes to Astrobot. Absolutely. Black Myth Waking, he writes. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Metaphor ReFantasia, and Neva. I think Metaphor probably will win best art direction because it's, hand-drawn type anime style. I hear people love how that looks. So Astrobot's got a cool art direction. It's just a really great game design. So I think that one goes to Metaphor. Let's talk about Buttered Stalker. Let's talk about what it is, what it does. Shout out to Red Wolf in the chat. Appreciate you for being here, bro. Best narrative goes to Final Fantasy Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantasio, Hellblade Saga, Slow down. Senua Saga Hellblade 2 and Silent Hill 2. Best narrative? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows anymore? Well, the narrative for Hellblade's pretty great. Meg, say something. Even if you're off camera.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
I can hear you.
God, Jesus. Good Lord.
Okay.
Found out what it is. I messaged you. Did you get my message?
No, I was just busy flying by the seat of my pants like a moron. But what's up? Tell the class what's going on.
So it's not me, Bell. Those bunch
Art
of
Bell?
I can't even say it. For anybody I was going to say something horrible. But Bell up here, they dug up wires in front of the house or whatever to add the fiber optic for people who didn't have it, and they already had pre-existing lines, but they've updated the lines. As a result of that, there's been technical difficulties over the last 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So they're working on it. So all of a sudden, I got booted completely off, and I went upstairs with every single swear word you could possibly imagine. And it turns out that from their end, not my end, they're resetting their servers.
Those sons of biscuits!
Dude, they were resetting their servers and trying to get everybody else back online. Well, dude, I threw my headphones, like everything. I freaked out. You should have seen it. But the thing is, again, it wasn't me. So they had to reset their service because they probably got like 10,000 phone calls in like 1 second where everybody's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Where's the internet? And we pay a lot for internet up here, especially for the fiber optics. So the fact that it goes down, people just don't tolerate it. So anyways, I should be back up and running. They did a full diagnostics. They got everything running again, and hopefully by this week, all their problems with upgrading
The guy's out in
the
front of your
fiber
house
optic
with a front end loader. Hey, we got it. We got the internet. He's got like the cable hit with a bucket truck.
Oh my God, what a nightmare! I had so much to say.
Stripping the
I know.
wire.
He's just stripping the wire with his teeth. Yeah,
He's
what
out there in a
pain
ditch
the
going.
ass. Yeah.
Man, I can't tell you how many hours I spent upside down in the floorboards of my car, stripping wire with my teeth so I could, wire my stereo right into the fuse box. And then I wondered why I'd be driving in the dome lights with dim. When I drive, I go,
there are other ways to hotwire your car, Colt. You don't have to hotwire it that way. You could just use a screwdriver.
What ticks me off, bro, is that my dad is an electrician. My dad had his own business. And I'm in the garage, in his spot with my car, and I'm upside down, I'm pulling wire, and I'm like, and I'm trying to get it to work. And I'm like, Dad, how does this work? But he goes, well, I don't know how electronics work in a car. I'm like, Dad, you're an electrician. Like, he's going,
Mash,
put a fork
yes,
in
I
the
am
thing.
kidding. Sorry, Mash is like, what are you, Canadian or something? You saw Bell, and I'm like, and you know what the funny thing is, Bell is the fastest internet on the planet. But whatever the hell they're doing, trying to upgrade other people's stuff while they already had my stuff upgraded to the top of the line. But it's all affected, right? Because when you try to fix one, it's going to affect everybody else because you're on the same connection, right? So it's like, you know what? If you guys, neighbors, if you got on board on day one, this wouldn't have been a problem. But now it's a problem. Now I got to deal with it in the middle of XNC. Jerks.
Well,
anyways,
it sounds great now, and I got through the boring.
Okay, so let's get back to our topic. Let's go into it. Get into it.
We're getting to the good ones. Best art game direction. Who cares? Oh, that's it. There's only two more. Best game direction. Meg, what does that mean before I read the games, and then you can give us.
Well, direction is the same as. From that point, you're basically. It's a combination of like the director of a film and the executive producer of a film, kind of combined into one job, right? So you're basically everything
and everything, making everything work. So
you're essentially the director of the game, like what Neil Druckmann would do when there's when he releases a game, it's his name all over it, right? It's him, it's his direction, directed by. Even though you can't say it's directed by because it's not a film, but
but if they're saying best game direction, like Abdel says, best game design. I'm wondering if this really means
no, it's not design.
The direction the game does, because
like for example, I'm going to bring Druckmann up again, or even Todd Howard. They're not coding the game, right? They've got everybody else coding the game. They're directing the final product, right? So it's the same. Like I said, it's the same as like Spielberg or George Lucas or whoever, Francis Ford Coppola, that kind of thing, just in the game world. Give me the nominations. Let's see what's up.
Mag's right. The award recognizes the individuals or small groups responsible for building, guiding a game's development and shaping its final outcome. I thought it was like the direction, like the game just as a whole in a package and what it offers. But no, there you go. Thank you, Mag. Here are the games that are nominated for best game direction: Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantasio. And the winner is... Nice cleavage.
It's going to be... nice. It's okay, Web Dave. You could say hi to Colt, but not to me. It's fine. It's fine.
What? We don't... What? No way. We don't like Web Dave. Come on now. We love Web Dave. We love him. All right.
Said hi, Colt.
Yeah. There's a Yo Mag. Bro, remember?
Okay.
You're on dial-up.
Too late. It's too... Yeah, I'm on dial-up. It's too late. You're not getting the achievement.
He says hi with 4 Pony Master.
Oh, okay.
Emojis.
Okay. All right. But it's a little too late. It's too late, Web Dave. I'm upset. Anyways, in all seriousness,
Connor Garrity says Concord should be the best game direction.
Concord wins direction of the year.
It's between Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, Metaphor, ReFantasio. Which one is the?
It's going to be Metaphor or Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Okay. What's your pick?
Honorable mention goes to.
There's no honorable mention, Mag. You can make
I'm
stuff
giving an
up.
honorable mention. I'm giving an honorable mention to Shadow of the Erdtree.
Oh, it's in there.
But
it's in there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give that honorable mention as like a third, or like a consolation prize.
All right, which one's gonna win?
You
pompous son of a biscuit.
I would go with Metaphor Refantasio because of the narrative of the story. I think is going to take it over the top, and the way that the story plays out, and how people are really engaged in it, whatever. Even though people are super engaged in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I think that this one is going to take it over the finish line. I think Metaphor is going to take it for best direction.
Okay, I'm going to piss off Fonz when he listens to this and say, yes, let's do it. I'm going to say that Elden Ring gets stomped for best game direction by Astrobot. Elden Ring is fantastic.
You think Astrobot?
Elden Ring is fantastic. When I think of the people that made Astrobot happen, the people that did all these varied and creative levels, even some that emulate other games really well, and then doing the homage to the PlayStation legacy of hardware and gaming and IPs. And it all comes together into this world that feels like it all belongs. It's got this hub world where you go and unlock everything. It was magical. And to make all that happen, that's everybody listening to, I've got a great idea, and let's not let anything get in our way. And I think best game direction should go to Astrobot. Because Black Myth Wukong and Balatro are really cool, like really popular, and Elden Ring is really highly rated, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's a reimagining of an old game. But I think if you're talking about who, like what you said, it comes down to Metaphor versus Astrobot. That's in my opinion.
Okay. I'm going with Metaphor for the win on that one. And like I said, second place is going to be very closely followed by Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because of the narrative. But I think that Metaphor's narrative was a little bit more hard-hitting for a lot of people, so I think it's going to take that cake. And then that comes down to not just the writers. As everybody knows, it's a combination of everything. Writers have to be cohesive with the director of the game, and the director has to be able to take all that and be able to wrangle it all into something that's cohesive and a solid narrative, right? So that's what I think.
Matt, give me that soccer sound, that soccer stadium sound.
Oh my God, I know why too. Isn't it something going on? Lotus Esprit, what's up?
Bro, they just dropped a $50 super chat with a Gundam transforming hippo, I think it is. Yeah.
That's amazing,
so
buddy.
Much.
That's amazing.
That's
amazing. Yep, that's awesome.
You.
Sith Lord, good evening, my friend. And Web Dave,
always.
Stop it. It wasn't me that was lagging, it was you. It wasn't me, it's you.
Yeah, it was your guys'. It's me. It was everybody's fault.
It was your fault. It was your fault, not Bell Canada. It had nothing to do with them. It was all Web Dave's fault. That's why I was. It was Art Bell's fault. It's Art Bell's fault and Web Dave's fault and Taco Bell. It was all their faults. And Sith Lord just because he said hi to me. So
yep.
Either way, achievement unlocked. I'm officially annoyed with Bell Canada.
If you're a channel member, here on the show, hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. We're almost wrapped up here with the Game of the Year nomination discussion. Then we'll get into the controversy of what's going on with the Game Awards. If you're a channel member, put up one of your favorite emojis from the custom emojis in the chat so I can see them, see which ones you guys like the most. I use the blue achievement one a lot when I pin a comment on a video, so I appreciate you guys. All right, here it is. The Game of the Year nominations, and everyone already knows this by now, but it is the same ones as Best Game Direction. Game of the Year, Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Balatro, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII, and Metaphor Refantasio.
Correct.
I don't know. I haven't played any of them except for a few minutes of Metaphor, and then I almost 100% completed Astrobot. So my Game of the Year is Astrobot amongst that list, but I'm a little bummed that Black Myth Wukong is higher than Dragon's Dogma 2. I thought that was a really cool, solid game. Like, what was
a lot of people are saying that. I bought it, by the way. I bought it on the sale, and I'm really excited to play it. But I bought it on the Pro because I heard that there was Pro enhancements because there was some performance issues.
Yep.
There's some performance issues, so I bought on the Pro. So I'm going to try it out. My wife is going to get into it too because we game share. So I'm excited to play it. So I'll be able to give my thoughts and feelings on that in a few weeks. But and well before the Game Awards show actually happens. So that's kind of cool. Game of the year.
Let me add in here that Black Myth Wukong. I think Dragon's Dogma should have taken the place of Black Myth Wukong, but I think it's cool pushing the industry forward that a small studio from China made Black Myth Wukong, and so many people loved it. Like 20 million people bought the game, but it is 5 points lower than Dragon's Dogma 2. But you know, Capcom can't always win everything, so maybe it is the right choice to have Black Myth. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think that a lot of that had to do with I mean, like it's from China, and a lot of games that we don't get access to. A lot of games from China, and then what do? They sell 15 million copies on the first day in China, mind you. That people are like, oh my god, there's a lot of. They're also like 1.8 billion people in China, so you know what I mean. So it's like it's pretty easy to get people on board in that. So I think there was a lot of that there. I think that they fixed the game quite a bit. A lot of people did enjoy it. However. Again, from people I've talked to, because I haven't played Dragon's Dogma yet, I will start it very soon, is that I heard that it's a fantastic game, and I know that people who played both, and they said that Dragon's Dogma 2 was by and far the better game. And let's face it, at the end of the day, you still got, even though I know the Dragon's Dogma had a few performance issues here and there at launch, not as many as Black Myth Wukong did.
True.
It had the Black Myth Wukong had a lot more technical problems at launch. The other thing is you've got Capcom is the studio who did Dragon's Dogma. I mean, their pedigree alone, should pushes them to that other stratosphere of gaming excellence, right? So I think that that should have been in there. However, my choice for Game of the Year, I think it's going to go to. It's going to go to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth without question. Metaphor doesn't have the legs to carry it over the finish line for a Game of the Year. The other ones are close, but just not enough. I don't think a platformer like Astrobot, as amazing as Astrobot is, and absolutely stunning on the Pro. Bradward Fight, I swear to God, if you tag me in another one of your videos or another one of your tweets about what game you played in the Pro, every time I check it, there's 17 mentions, and I'm like, Bradward, stop it.
Yeah, he's great.
Astrobot also does not have the legs to carry over, no pun intended, because he got short little legs. Doesn't have the legs to carry it over the finish line. I think the only thing that will, and I know that's going to piss people off, but I'm telling you right now, that is going to be the final result of the Game Awards. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to win Game of the Year. And it's not even going to be close. It's not even going to be close.
I think that shout out Shaggy? Right. I think that the winner would be I think that it would be Erdtree. Sorry, let me fix this here.
Sure.
Sorry, we lost the cameras for just a second. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what it would be. I don't know. And it's cool that we can disagree on that. We can.
Well, that's kind of the fun of it. Danny Passion, you're absolutely insane. I'm just kidding. He sent a super chat for you to.
Yes. Thank you. I was going to read that sucker. Let's see. Danny Passion Official says Colt Black Myth Woo.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
He has verbal technical difficulties.
Yeah. Thank you for the $2, Danny Passion. Colt Black Myth is a better game. I played both. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. There's another opinion right there.
Yeah. And I did not play Black Myth Wukong, and I wouldn't probably go out on a limb and play it because Souls games are not my favorite. And
well, I heard it's a boss rush game, and I'm not into that. Yeah. As amazing as it looks, and it. It's just not. Okay. I know this sounds kind of crazy for some people, but I find that bosses in games are the most annoying part of the game for me. I hate boss fights. I can't wait to get over it and get away from it because I cannot stand boss fights. I prefer the journey that gets you to that point. You know what I mean? Like being able to do things, explore, do battles along the way, that kind of thing. But the actual boss fights, I just find so effing irritating. They drive me crazy. So I'm not interested in them at all. An entire game of just boss fights, like that might be like my personal hell. Like, like Hellraiser, that they send you down to a chamber and then you have to live out your own personal hell over and over and over. Yeah, that would be it. Just to like face bosses nonstop in a game. No thanks.
I mean,
I'm not shortcoming the game. I'm just saying.
That's in like Sekiro and Elden Ring, and
Yeah, but those are Souls games.
All those other games,
Souls games that.
Yeah, I mean they're souls punishing. Wukong is, and you have those moments where you can fight the sort of easier enemies, and you kind of feel like you're, I can come through here and just slaughter enemies and kind of level up before I go take on a boss. That has some reprieve for me, but like I said, I put 40 plus hours into Elden Ring and I didn't finish it. I'm like, I had my fill. I got stomped by the big black dragon out over one of the bridges at the top north next to the red area of the map. Yeah, I couldn't. I tried like 20 times, and I'm like, I don't want to come back later. I don't know. It was still great though. All right. Well, that's it for the Game of the Year awards. Some of the controversy being that the DLC thing, which we pretty much hashed out.
Sure. The DLC thing, I think it's not. I don't think it's going to have any effect on the awards. I think it's just there. I don't think that Shadow of the Erdtree has a chance to win, even though it's fantastic. I just don't think it's got a chance to win Game of the Year. It's going to win maybe in another category here and there, God knows what, but I'm not really 100% sure. But I think it's just there to fill it out, which I think is a mistake, because personally I would have switched out Shadow of the Erdtree for Stellar Blade. And I think that's Stellar Blade, like Stellar Blade, from what my understanding, and I will find out this week, is supposed to be much more deserving to be in that position.
That's weird. So it's like an 8 out of 10 Stellar Blade, maybe an 85, 83. But so are some of the games on this list. Connor Garrity, thank you so much for the €24 super chat in orange. Thank you so much. They said they should have a short-lived Game of the Year to prevent crap games. They should have a short-lived Game of the Year to prevent crap games. I don't know what that means, but some of the biggest games come in right before the deadline. That's one of the problems that we really can't get around with Jeff Keighley's show. And I talked to him 2 years ago about that. And you have the show at the beginning of December when it's lucrative for ad and advertising and to make money. And that's what it's all about. Money. Yeah, he does this to make money.
He's doing it to make money. Of course he is.
But he also,
I mean, do you want to work for free?
Yeah, and he also draws in a massive audience that was going to see some reveals, like some new trailer or big news. And
that's what it boils down to, Colt. It's all about those reveals. Because at first it was actually about the games, and then over the years it's sort of metamorphosized into we're watching this for the reveals of the trailers, the surprises, the possible console drops like the Series X did in 2019 and whatever else, right? Yeah. So like all these different things that could happen. You might see a Switch 2 reveal. You might get you pretty much are going to get a Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer thrown in the mix or whatever else, right? So like all these things that's what people are looking forward to now. So now when you watch these reaction videos, it's not a reaction of who won the best direction. It's about what's the big surprise trailer that's coming in between the thing. And so he leaned heavily into it, which is smart. And Keighley's not stupid. He leaned into it and he says, you know what? I'm going to lean harder into that. And he started charging more. So he's charging more for those trailers to drop. And they're making a fortune because now more and more people are tuning in. Like that's how you do business. Yeah. Love it or hate it. That is called capitalism, my friends, and that's how it's done. And then you, as a consumer, have a choice whether you want to watch it or not. That's entirely up to you. But in the end, everybody that I found like over the years has said, I'm not watching it this year for one reason or another. And then the same night, they're sitting there online and they're watching the bloody thing, or they're on a reaction panel or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. I thought you weren't watching it, but it's okay, whatever.
Speaking of reaction channels, Samurai KBG, who's been on the show with us a couple times. Yep. He does big reaction videos live from home for the Game Awards, and he's decided this year to actually attend in person, and he's really excited. So, and if you know him, he gets really super emotional when big reveals happen or big things happen for his favorite thing. So, yeah, shout out to him.
I'll see if I can find out some info this year on what's coming up and what's going to be shown at the awards. So last year, my people were bang on, including the Blade reveal and everything else, and that was almost a month before it happened. So we'll see. We'll see if I can dig up some stuff for this year. Although it's been rather quiet lately. However, I do know what never mind.
I'm going to bring in somebody to join us for the second half of the show here for briefly for the last half of the show. But before we do, Xbox in 2022 didn't say anything at the Game Awards. They did last year, like you said, with Marvel Blade. Do you think, or do you have any predictions about Xbox making any sort of appearance or presence?
Not yet.
Or
I'm sure they'll do something. I'm sure they'll do something, but I don't know yet. I haven't heard anything yet. The only thing I know about is what the name of the next console project name is.
Okay,
that's it. But I'm not allowed to say anything.
You're not allowed to say that? Okay.
No, not allowed to say anything because that would really be way too that would be way too obvious as to who knows, because I think only like 4 people know.
And then
so it'd be like,
you'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Yeah, it's like, which one of you 3 bozos said something? Yeah, it'd be pretty obvious. So that'll be revealed shortly. But it's interesting name.
Maybe Richard M. I've been, Sarah Bond did say we've got hardware to reveal in holiday 2024. So they've said lots of things and not done anything. There's still the possibility that you got the possibility out there about that the not heavily powered or high powered handheld could still be a possibility, as the one that the Surface team was working on, like a Surface Pro type gaming device or something.
Yeah, that's a possibility that could still come out within the calendar year, next calendar year. But I'm not going to say, that's just speculation. But we did hear that was happening last year. We heard about that was already in development. Jason Ronald was overlooking it, but not actively part of that. So that being the case, is that that's a possibility, because then the handheld maybe that Phil was talking about, I think would be more along the Asus, the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck, that kind of thing, like a much more powerful native handheld, whereas this one would be that sort of dockable, hybrid kind of situation, right? So we shall find out when the time comes. And ladies and gentlemen, look who just walked into the unbelievable 4xpgaming.com brings to you that blue number.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
So I got a call from my corporate office for the company that I work for, and Meg, I'm from Bell, and I'd like to write down your complaint and take it back to my office.
Oh my gosh.
Your Discord is the MVP the last couple weeks for
turns out it wasn't Discord at all. It was I think you missed it.
I know, I was watching. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I was joking that I was a customer service agent from Bell here.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood you.
Can you check to make sure your mic is selected, not your camera mic?
Yes, I think it might be your camera mic.
Yeah, it might be. You're still loud and clear, but I think it might be your camera mic instead of studio. Wait, she's not frozen. Is she frozen or is she concentrating?
No, she froze. Oh, there she is. No, she's back. Wow, something is going on, man.
Yeah. Who knows?
No, she's there. No, she froze again.
And when
it's my earbuds. Sometimes they pop in and out. Sorry.
Okay.
We're good?
It still sounds like it's not your studio mic, but...
Okay, let me change it.
But yeah, we can hear you. And when you get that all online, since we're going to move away from the Game of the Year discussion, I thought I would ask if you had any big opinions about all the stuff we covered, like what you think sucks and what you think is about right. So, and then we'll move on, because I have a bold claim, or a bold, what's the word? A bold idea of what could be at the Game Awards game-wise. And shout out to Lotus Esprit. Thank you so much for another $50 super chat for that blue number. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah. Bag says Xbox players can't even play half of the Game of the Year nominees. Black Myth Wukong and Final Fantasy and Astrobot. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they can't. Yeah. There you go. I think you're mic'd up now. So do you have any big opinions on everything we covered there?
I was listening, and I think I don't know, Meg, I appreciate your opinion on Final Fantasy, but I do think that Astrobot has more of a chance than maybe you're giving it. I'm not saying it's going to win. I wish it would win, because that was my favorite of these, and I haven't played them all. But I do think that it was really unique and really special, and it resonated with a lot of people. And
I adored
I
it.
don't know.
I adored the game.
Really great. It was really
Yep.
great. And it's the first, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's the first kind of platformer outside of Mario, right? That's really kind of taken the world by storm. The world by storm being 1.5 million people that bought the game, but I mean, they were able to
I
access
know.
it.
It's criminal. It's criminal.
It'll sell
It
more
is
in the
criminal.
holidays when they reduce it. They're going to reduce it down for like Black Friday and for the Christmas season, and then you watch it'll get much higher. But yeah, 1.5. It seems pretty upsetting that so few people purchased the game, and it has such broad appeal, right? It can go from
Mhm.
from little kids all the way up, and like my kids loved it. They finished it. They
Yeah.
adored it. Both of them played it.
Yeah.
I played it. I loved it. It's in my top 3 of the year so far. So yeah, it's great. But I just think that from the discourse that I'm hearing from everybody is that Final Fantasy VII is just that far above it. But the thing is, I haven't played it, so I can't speak on it. I'm just sort of from my observations. That's where my opinions are coming from. So I'm not making an educated decision on my own because I did not play Final Fantasy yet.
Yeah, sure. It Final Fantasy isn't really my jam. I've tried a few times. I didn't hate it, but I just didn't love it that much. But I do remember when that game came out, there was a lot of back and forth on it. It wasn't just like when Metaphor came out, everybody loved it.
Yeah, that's true.
There was no side of an argument that was kind of against it, right? Like, but Final Fantasy had I think there were a lot of technical issues, right, when that came out, especially with PC.
Yeah, I've heard that it's not as good as the last one, and technical issues don't really come into play when it comes to that. But yeah, I agree.
Right.
It was not split when it comes to Metaphor Refantasio. Is there anything that you did not agree with, like wholesale, on the Game Award nominations?
I mean,
Like snub, anything like that?
yeah, honestly, you could go into the argument about remakes and remasters and them being allowed to be part of the Game of Year contention. But honestly, Silent Hill 2 remake is so good. It is so absolutely fantastic. And I was kind of surprised to see that it wasn't there. I mean, I feel like it was a little bit of a long shot, but that, and to your point as well, Dragon's Dogma too. That is the problem, right? When you have a whole year cycle, is that you tend to get you have selective memory, right, about games that you played closer to the beginning of the year than you do at the end of the year, and you don't remember quite all of the things that you absolutely loved or you didn't. And that stands more to the testament of time for a game on the whole, right? Like, 2 years from now, when you look at all of these games, you'll probably have a little bit more of a level thought or a level opinion on the whole. Whereas games that you played a month ago are very vivid in your mind. And to the best of your abilities, trying to take that into account, I think it still does play a little bit of a little bit of trickery, right, with your thoughts when you're looking at these games. But Shadow of the Erd Tree is very, very good, and I think it's interesting that it's in the Game of the Year. And I would say that you're probably not wrong in thinking that it's probably got a decent shot at it, simply because it's not that it was made a special exception, but it sort of is like a special exception now, right? Because it is placed right in that Game of the Year category. So, and last year with Cyberpunk and Phantom Liberty, it was in the best ongoing game category. Yeah. Best ongoing game category, not Game of the Year. So it seems like this would have fallen in the same category, right? If you were going to do a DLC.
Are you going to fly to California and attend the Game Awards with my wife?
Are you paying for it?
Person? Sure, I'll pay for it. You guys go have fun. Go see Jeff Keighley. Go give him a high five for me.
It'd be a great time.
It's a great way to stay in shape. Love it. I put an actual official Game of the Year poll in the chat, and that whatever your vote is what will actually be handed to Jeff Keighley at the end of the show. I put it between Astrobot, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy, and Metaphor. I left out Balatro and Black Myth Wukong because you can only do 4, and I thought those were probably the 4 most popular amongst this group of people watching. And shout out to almost 400 people watching. Thank you so much. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the show, and say hi to that blue number. Thank you for joining us. So, all right, let's talk about my crazy, psychotic prediction for a reveal at the Game Awards.
All right,
I think it is time for Xbox to show an actual gameplay segment of Fable. I'm not sure if Fable is going to be out in a year from then or a year from now. Maybe it gets pushed out into the year after, but I think it's time for Xbox to wow millions by showing them what Fable looks like, showing them a small segment of a mission, showing them continuous gameplay so they know what it feels like to walk in the world, be in the world, take a quest, go to a location, and do a myriad of different combat techniques. Because today on Xbox 2, the sleepiest podcast on all of YouTube and the internet, Jez Corden and Randall Thor talked about Fable because Jez Corden got to visit Playground Games earlier at the end of this year, a month ago or whatever. He said that he got to see a bunch of gameplay because what we've seen is what I would call 31 seconds of gameplay clips, because I've edited it down into one video that sits in my library. The rest is all cinematic crap that you're not playing. But he said that he got to see the character walking around, taking a quest, fighting. He said, Jez Corden said that it is very much like Geralt in The Witcher 3. He says, I don't want to say it's a carbon copy or not everything is like it, but there were a lot of things that reminded him of The Witcher 3's combat, where you can dive roll, you can swing and pirouette is the word he used. You can swing around with the sword. We saw this in the clip where you can levitate enemies and slam them to the ground. We only saw them levitate, and she held the bow and arrow. The coolest reveal from everything that Jez said was his words, quote, "It's effing awesome," with the real actual British F word. Not a word I would use.
They swear a lot on that show. I find it very off-putting. As a person who doesn't swear like myself, I live a clean life. No alcohol, no cigars, no swearing, no sexual contact at all.
And no proof otherwise, right?
Yes, and no proof otherwise. I find the Xbox 2 podcast to be deplorable and depraved, and I think that everybody should stop watching the show and come back to XNC and watch a show that'll keep you awake instead of Rand with his ASMR putting everybody to sleep. Let's go. Anyways.
Rand called me like a half an hour before the show.
Oh, did he have enough energy to dial your number?
Because they just did a 4-hour show, and he's like, "Oh, I'm done with the show. I'll call Colt." And I was sitting there playing Redacted Game, and I'm like, I looked at my phone. I'm like,
Redacted Game. I've heard of that game.
Yeah, ain't no way I'm taking the phone call while I was playing. Anyway, we love him. Yeah, Jez says it's effing awesome. And then
I look.
The coolest part of this is that Holly, he said that he was shown gameplay where you play as the female character, and no, she doesn't have a name. The female character, and he was told that there is a male character. You can pick male or female. So people are really upset about playing as a female or playing as that female. You know, people who, you know, their pants were too tight most of their lives. Yes, you'll be able to play as a male character if that's what you really want. Hey, and don't worry. I'm sure they'll all have fancy outfits no matter what they wear. I don't know. Does that concern you, that blue number?
Well, the low T ratio people who have an issue with that girl need to calm down. They can play as the guy. I liked her. I liked her character model because it fits the story. It fits the time of the story. Like, I hate to break it to you, but makeup is not always a thing, and it was definitely not a thing for people who are milking cows for 3 hours of the day. Yes, like with their old like coal that they would use in their stove and then like wipe it on their face to make eyeliner. It's not going to happen, right? So
that's a good idea.
I think it's great. Like, it's good to have both options because then you can stop some of the people who complain about having to look at said female, and they can play as a dude, and I'm sure the girls will complain about the dude, and that'll be okay too. And
or
then
the
it'll
guys
all be equal, and everybody will think they're all ugly. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I prefer my women with yellow and brown teeth anyway, so I mean that's kind of my thing. So I'm actually all for it. With that hideous smile that she had in the trailer. But I was gonna ask about that. So there really isn't any character creator, like character creation of sorts. Is basically you're gonna get to pick a male and a female, like kind of like Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
They could, yes.
I'm just asking. I don't.
They could because Playground Games has a 20 presets or 10 presets on Forza Horizon, but the Fable games typically have you choose to play as a boy or a girl as a young kid, and then you grow up and take on your world, right? So
well, I'm going to play as a girl anyway because I always play as a female character when I play games. I don't know what it is. I think it harkens back to Tomb Raider and Resident Evil on the original PlayStation, because that was really the first time where I got. Well, I mean, there were female protagonists before, but I played as them, and those two series had the heaviest impact on me as a gamer. When I finally left the arcades to stay at home and game, right? And ever since then, it's funny. Whenever I play a game, I always play as a female character, and it's not because I'm looking for jiggle like physics in her butt or this and that, or it's got nothing to do with that. I could get that in real life. You know what I mean? There's real life walking around. You could do all that kind of stuff if you're into that, whatever. But in a game,
get the mail, and there's jiggle physics.
Jiggle physics. I just prefer to play as a female, so I'm going to play as her anyway. So but anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at the end of the day because from what we understand, this game is going to be stunning. It's going to be something else. And is it really going to hit 2025 is the big question that a lot of people are asking, because you've got one heck of a year for Xbox. In terms of first party and third party offerings to that, for Game Pass, and of course to PlayStation, you've got Doom, you've got Avowed, and then you've got Call of Duty. Sorry, South of Midnight, which
the next Call of Duty.
I think South of Midnight will be a summer release. That's the kind of thing you could release in July or August.
Sure.
And then you could put it in there. So you got 3. You've got Call of Duty, which is theirs. That's 4. Now, the thing is, do you drop, and there's a question I'm going to ask both of you, is this the kind of game that you drop in between or after Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto 6? I don't think you do, man.
Coming next year. It's 2026. It's not going to come next year.
That's what I figured too. That's what I'm guessing. Everybody in the chat, a lot of people in the chat are asking. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, if Fable was 2025, they dang well better release it before Grand Theft Auto 6. It doesn't matter how much they wait afterwards. Like, it's going to be, you'll get buried. Everyone's going to be playing Grand Theft Auto 6 if it's as good as it's supposed to be.
It's going to be GTA and Call of Duty. Is going to dominate the second half of that year. And I think everybody else is going to, I think everybody else is going to just avoid that time of year. Like, I feel like I even think like Ghost of Yotei, did they give an official release date on that? Because I think that's going to be second quarter. Okay, so I think, my personal opinion, I think it's going to be second quarter 2025 to completely avoid Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto.
And speaking of Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy finally got 2 years later, it got a proper patch the way it should have launched. They put in a classic lighting. They fixed some of the controls and some of the bugs, like invisible roads or glitches or missing stuff. And I loaded it up and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really, really nice. It still looks really old, but it's nice. And then I played. I was on party chat with Holly and Red Wolf, and I was playing. I was like, this is so great. Like, everything's like the whole vibe. And then I realized how frustratingly difficult and how frustrating and another F word that's frustrating. You just die and you start all the way over, and you die and you die and you die. So I don't know if I'll stick with it, but I don't know.
Wait, which one?
The 3 San Andreas and Vice City. I was playing Vice City.
No, I know. I was
Vice City for the most part. Vice City was the most frustrating. Like, I pull a boat up and it's like, shoot the guys on the boat and then grab the suitcase. And I go to shoot the guys and they're shooting, and the aiming is just so.
I know.
Who cares? It's so bad.
I know.
I can't believe what we put up with, and now we say like Elden Ring's difficult.
Dude, try and play Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1 with the tank controls. And remember, in those days, they didn't even have analog sticks yet. You remember that? Yep. It was literally just the cross. It was just the analogs. There's no analog sticks. It was just the tank controls. The D-pad. Yeah. Unbelievable. And then try to play Tomb Raider like that. Jesus, Murphy. It was tough.
Hey, and
I
we
don't even know
loved
how
it.
the hell we finished. We loved it, but I don't even know how we finished games. But we did. We somehow finished games.
We persevered. Holly,
Yep.
I want you to lead this discussion because this is something else. The Tuesday or Wednesday of last week, Xbox dropped a juggernaut bomb on everybody and said, "This is an Xbox." And half of the community was like, "What the F?" Tell us what This Is Xbox is and your take on what's going on with this. We're also going to side skirt the games going to PlayStation because we've been doing that for a year. But let's just talk about that, Holly. This is Xbox.
Yeah, so it was the Phil interview dropped that morning, and then like right after that, right, was the This Is an Xbox. And it's interesting, right? Because like we know that this is the way that they've been going. Like this is the story that they've been telling us for a while. It's not like this is a new thing, but it wasn't even just a new Xbox ad. It was like an official drop of a campaign, right? There were announcements, there were blog posts. Jez wrote an article about it that he linked today on Twitter about his not necessarily bright and optimistic opinions of this marketing campaign. And I guess that like we already know that Xbox is supposed to be all of these things. We know that. But
right.
like we know that. But the average consumer who is casually looking for A, B, or C to pick up doesn't, right? They don't know that anywhere you have the internet basically is where you can play Xbox is the pitch. So that's really a market that they're going after. I made a comment to you in that morning when that thing dropped, and I was like, okay, it's not for me. But the one thing is, what is the market that this is for? And I think generally, right, it's for the 17 to 30-year-olds, roughly. I mean, I'm guessing at an age range here. But
Yeah.
it kind of struck me off guard that while the song is very to the point and exactly what they're looking for with this campaign, I kind of found it odd that if you're going for the young market, which is the people who don't buy consoles, right? That's the whole point, right? Play it anywhere, play it on anything. You have a phone, you have a tablet, you have a Fire Stick, go have fun. That you would use a song that's like 30 to 35 years old, even if it's remixed a little. I just thought that was kind of a little off from what you're trying to set.
That reminds me of, this will be brief. That reminds me, my wife and I were working on a video project for a high school cross country team. And the coach is like, I want to use Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen and Under Pressure by David Bowie. And this was way back in like 99. Excuse me. And in 99, I'm like, teenagers don't want to listen to Born to Run and David Bowie. Like they want to listen to, I don't know, Enrique Iglesias or whoever it was, and Ja Rule, right?
NSYNC.
And NSYNC, yeah.
Yes,
and
right.
So you reminded me of that the marketing team is like, oh man, when I was in high school, like this song was the bee's
you
knees.
With this?
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's just my only point. And look, there are some songs that are transcendent, right? Like, but there are very few that really are ageless, have no, age barrier. For example, Queen with Bohemian Rhapsody. That is a very rare exception, and I feel like no matter what age you are, it always hits hard. It's perfect, right? Maybe this song is too. Maybe I'm wrong. I just thought that's an odd combination. At the end of the day, I know a lot of people are frustrated with this, mostly just because of the timing. Like, you've dropped this, but to what end? Where is the thing that you're also trying to promote along with it? I didn't necessarily get that.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's more that, hey, it's November, what was it, the 12th or something like that. And Christmas is 6 to 8 weeks away. So let's see what we can do. Let's get controllers out. Let's like let's cut it off at the pass, or like show people you don't need to go out and spend $600 or $750 or $800, right, on a console.
Yeah.
Like, you can get your kids this Fire Stick or buy them a controller and tell them to use the phone that you're already paying $1 million a month for and go away, right?
I've got a couple complaints about this, and one of them is, excuse me, a funny one. Does Steam Deck and Lenovo Go and ROG Ally, Asus ROG Ally, do they like Xbox going, this is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. Like, they're sitting there going in the conference room going, no, you freaking aren't. No, you're not. You're a ROG Ally. You're not an Xbox. No, you're not like throwing your Xbox name on our product. And I know that they don't mean it literally that way, but when you're trying to brand that your device is this and this is what it does, and then Xbox just comes in and goes, no, y'all, your stuff is ours. You're all Xboxes. And that was my funny way to look at it. Jess's complaint was that, why are you saying this is an Xbox when 90% of the Xbox console library is not available now on those devices? And Phil wants them to, but here's the last thing I'll say, and I'll give this one to Mag. Xbox has been trying to push Play Anywhere for 10 years. Back in 2014, they pushed the Play Anywhere initiative. They had the commercial where the girl's in the internet cafe with her laptop. She comes home, turns on her Xbox One, and continues to play Recore. Oh my gosh, those days.
I liked Recore.
I didn't.
It's
You know, it's
one of
like,
3.
this is their thing. Like, the guy's in the airport sitting there with his laptop. He's got an Xbox controller, and it's like Play Anywhere. And back then there was like 40 games or 20 games that had Play Anywhere. And now today there's 200, 300, and it's been a decade. There's probably more than that, but that's my problem. Like, you're saying this is Xbox, that's Xbox. Meg, none of those games that you own on Xbox, other than a small fraction, can be actually Xboxed on those devices.
Right. So that's the thing at the end of the day, is that there's muddled messaging once again. But like, I understand what they were trying to do. They're trying to say that, like, listen, just access our product. Doesn't matter how you do it, how you go about doing it, just access it, and we've given you every option in the world to access it. However, they follow it up with bad messaging. Like you said, they're not following it up with every game being able to do so. The other thing is that they're not giving it enough support that they should be giving it by not having every single game on there. The other thing to me is, you talked about from 10 years ago, they had, up until now, and I feel like now is like the starting point. I think Black Ops 6 was the first brick that laid down the, that's going to lay down the foundation of saying, okay, now we're going to release, God willing, quality products on a consistent basis, right? The problem with them over the last 10 years is a complete lack of consistency when it came to quality. And that's another reason why people are not latching onto it. If you had something that people could not walk away from, I think you'd have more people being able to access it. So it's a combination of lack of access and lack of quality, right? A consistent quality, I should say. Excuse me. I'll rephrase that to consistent quality. So they have like a good game and then 2 good games, and then they have like 4 stinkers, and then you have 1 good game and then 2 stinkers, and then 1 good game, and you know what I mean, on and on and on. And so because of that, it loses its momentum. I think that now, by doing this full court press with this new advertising, I think that this is something that they can work on, because now I think that they are more confident in the product going forward. They have some great games coming up now. I'm sure somebody already clipped the first half of what I said and not going to hear the. You know what I'm saying? Like asshole Cyborg there. Right? Hey, I like you, buddy. He's actually not that bad of a guy, but he always quote tweets me something.
Sure.
Anyways, the thing is that now they are confident in their product. You could see it. They're sending out. Well, I'm going to stop saying what I'm saying. Don't want to get people in trouble. However, people are being able to access their products earlier and earlier, not only just for feedback, because they're confident in what the products that they got coming out, right? Yeah. And you know that next year is going to be a great year for them. They got some games that are looking really great. And so now that's how you do it. So now they're doing this full court press now to get people in there, and then they're going to start experiencing those games, right? The problem is, which ones are going to be there? If you're not going to put all of them in there, then you have to be very concise and clear as to what is on there. Because then all of a sudden some guy grabs a Fire Stick, and then he's not able to play the games that he saw advertised. That's going to turn people off. And that is a big problem, right? So that's something that they need to fix. If you want to be able to do that, you want people to follow into that. Like, for example, I got my Series X here. If for whatever reason my Series X craps out before this generation, I'm not buying another one. There's not a chance in hell I'm going to pay another $500-$600 or $700 here in Canada to get another one. I would access it through one of those other means that they had talked about, and then kind of hold over until the next generation. However, how upsetting would that be if I got into, let's just say for argument's sake, I got the Fire Stick. I already got like 10 controllers over there and whatever else, right? I connect all this other stuff, and all of a sudden I can't play Doom or whatever, right? Just fill in the blank. Or I can't play Fable.
Elden Ring, because you own it, but it's not
right.
on.
That's the better example. Is
multiplats.
Like
I bought Dying
Light. I bought Dying Light 2 on Xbox. I would love to load it up on my ROG Ally, but I have to go buy it on PC. Phil is looking into a future, and I think he's going there. And it's going to be one of the last things he does, and hopefully he does it soon. Serve, that's what we were talking about.
Ever?
Like, there's all these options, but most of those options, excuse me, rely on me being connected to cloud streaming. And right now, Xbox has a lower tier cloud streaming service than their competitors. Okay.
Yes, they do.
So you're still not getting a really great experience. So if I want to play Dying Light 2 on my ROG Ally, Phil's idea is that Colt bought that game. He bought it from us. He should be able to play it on any device he wants. And so the future that Phil is pushing for, to side skirt the ridiculous IP and franchise and entitlement setup that we have on PC and consoles, that if you buy a game, you should be able to say, hey, I want to install Dying Light. Well, where do you have it? On Xbox. Click Xbox. Here's your entitlement. You're good to go. Install the game. And then I can play it at full fidelity on PC. If I want to play it at console-wise, I can play it there. Phil also wants all of our saves to go over, to be a universal thing, where I could just say, oh, yeah, I want to play this on PC. I played it back in the day on Xbox. Xbox Live logs me in. Here comes my save, and you're good to go. Right. And that's the future. My issue is that they did, you can get with this, or you can get with that. Yo, you cool like that? You cool like that? Well, there was like 9 songs back in '91 that sound the same. What was the other one? Can you dig it? I can dig it. Can you dig it? I can dig it. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that.
Diggable planets.
Get ridiculous. Later, boy, you got us into licorice. Back in the day. What was I even saying?
Phil, no, I understand. I misspoke, Chad, by the way. But
commercial. Sorry, Matt.
Go ahead.
Let me say
Go
this.
ahead. Yep.
The commercial was just too early. Yet again, Xbox 10 years ago said, here's Play Anywhere. Play Anywhere hasn't come to fruition the way that it should. A lot of games don't have Play Anywhere, okay? So they put out this thing, and Jez's complaint was, they're saying you can do all this, but most of it's not there yet. They want to do this, but here's the commercial, but no, it's not ready unless you want to be cloud. That was my thing. Sorry.
Do you remember, though, do you remember the spring, though, when the guy on Twitter posted he had sent Phil a message, right, over Xbox, and had said something about being able to play your games, and Phil said, coming soon, coming this year. And then in like September, we got that rumor or semi-report or whatever that in November they were supposed to announce this coming to Xbox purchases you'd made on Xbox you could play like through your PC, right? Or through these like the Logitech or something like that. But so this feels like, okay, well, where's that announcement to? It seems like they should have been intertwined, right? Mm-hmm. So something happened. And if you don't understand game entitlement, the simplest, most fascinating way to get a look into it is to watch the movie Tetris on Apple TV Plus. And it goes back to the mid 80s when Tetris was made in Russia behind the Iron Curtain, and it made its way into China. And it's about the guy in America who lived in China who he was a software. He was trying to peddle some, like lesser game. He found Tetris and he loved it. But then he found out he only bought the console rights, not the arcade rights, or not this rights.
gosh.
And it was before there was a Game Boy. So then it goes into handheld rights are different than PC rights that are different than console rights that are different than arcade rights. It's a great movie. It will give you just a tiny look into how crazy this stuff can get. So
Okay.
that's it.
You know, it's going to be a big catalyst for next year is going to be Grand Theft Auto. And I know we've been talking about it, and I know it sounds like ad nauseum. We've been talking about it over and over. I wanted to correct myself about what games would be available on cloud streaming and whatever else, and on Fire Sticks and everything. Yes, you'll be able to get those first party, but third party games that you paid for. Now the thing is, let's just say it comes down to a decision, and that's the thing is that people are going to have to be notified. Is that, like, for example, if Grand Theft Auto is not available to play on your Fire Stick or whatever else, then if that's the one game that little Jimmy's going to play for the entire year, which is going to happen because my son and his friends, in between Fortnite, are still playing GTA Online with their friends, right?
Yeah,
and this has been going on for years. Is he going to get that? No. What's he going to end up buying? He's either going to buy either an Xbox or, well, where all his other friends are, probably on PlayStation. And so that's what the problem is. A lot of the games, especially the most popular games in the world, a lot of them are third party, outside of Call of Duty, which is now considered a first party for Xbox. But a lot of those games that people gravitate towards are either third party or free to play or whatever. And that's the thing at the end of the day is that you don't have access to that, it's not going to take off. Because first party, as great as it can be great for me, it could be great for you, it could be great for Blue Number, it could be great for the chat, but it might not be great for everybody else. There's a lot of people out there who have no idea what the hell Avowed is. There's a lot of people out there that I know that are gamers have no idea that Indiana Jones is coming out. And Indiana Jones, at least for our generation, is a huge IP for our generation because we grew up on it, right? And they don't know about that stuff. There's actually people that don't even know who playing the old Doom still didn't even know that there was a new reboot came out in 2016, right? So a lot like that, you have to have access to those bigger titles that everybody knows, and then that's in conjunction with that, you'll be able to sell and you'll be able to get more people to access, and from there then they can look and say, ooh, what are these fun little games that Xbox has in this service? And that's how you discover new IP. At least for them, it's new IP. Not new to me. My son has never played a Doom game in his life, but one day, probably next spring, he's going to discover Doom for the first time. Mm-hmm. And then that you're introducing it to a whole new generation. So it is new to them, right? So the thing is, you have to get the hook to get them in. Once you get them in, and then they see that library there and they go, oh, cool. And that's how you get people interested.
I mean, that is if junior high and high school kids are talking about Doom, the Dark Ages. Maybe they don't. Maybe it's a boomer game. I don't know. But
I think if you showed it to them, I think it'd be incredibly popular. But they have to see it. They have to have access to it and whatever else. But like I said, the initial connection to a device is going to be probably not first party. Like, I mean, what got a lot of people into in the old days? Sure, like look at Xbox in the original days. Gears of War and Halo got people into the Xbox ecosystem. How many people started? How many people bought Xboxes back in the day for Halo? How many people bought Xbox 360s for Gears of War?
I mean, that was a new thing. Like it's so like we can't compare it that way, right? Because that was a new idea that you could get a game that looked like a movie and it felt like a movie, and you could get it on this box and you put the disc in and it's just there and it's amazing. That doesn't work anymore. That really doesn't work. Like my kids, their only discovery on Game Pass or Xbox, they don't listen to me. They don't watch my videos. Their only discovery has been like Party Animals, Grounded, and the updates for Fortnite. That's all they care about.
But you know what? But your kids are going to grow up into us, and their tastes are going to change too. So like, there's always going to be a middle-aged gamer out there that is going to have a more eclectic taste for mature.
I mean, we're all about the same age, except Holly's 10 years younger than us. But
yeah,
indulge me for a moment. When I was my son's age, he was 13. We got a Nintendo. I had one for the first time. My favorite games were Contra and Ninja Gaiden. And if you rewind back to 1988, when I was 12 or 13, that was a mature game. It wasn't, Gang Beasts and Party Animals, Rubber Bandits. most of the games I loved were fairly mature for whatever rating they were back then, right? So I feel like, and maybe it's just me, and I'll ask Holly, I feel like I grew up on Contra, Ninja Gaiden, and Double Dragon and stuff like that. Those were the games I liked because those were like befitting of a 13-year-old kid. And I loved those games. And of course I played Bubble Bobble and stuff, loved the heck out of those. But I grew up like morphing into what the next Contra was or the next Metal Gear was. And I've always had an affinity for mature, cool cinematic games. And they kind of grew up and evolved with me. I don't know how it was for you, Holly, when you were like in your young teens playing games.
So I my parents, my dad is one of the
And
right
send us a
now,
picture
my
of your
dad is-
hairdo back then.
oh my gosh.
Did you have the
I
curled
no,
bangs in
you
front?
remember Eugene from The Walking Dead with his epic mullet? I
Yes.
had that haircut. That was
What?
me. I have a picture. I have
Oh,
a picture.
this?
Yes,
That-
with the short all the way to here and then long in the
The
back.
Partridge Boy,
Business
Partridge
in the
Family
front,
thing?
party in the back. I have a picture I took Eugene and I took myself as a kid side by side and put them together, and we look like brother sister.
Oh,
I'm not even kidding. But my dad right now, still to this day, is one of those people that thinks that gaming causes violence.
Oh,
You know, like, or he thinks that it has, a line to it. But I grew up in a really religious home, and so my parents always bought me. My grandparents actually bought me my first console, and that was when the consoles have been out for years and years, right? So they went and they found me an original Nintendo, right?
like
So
about what
that was-
year? Because I was like 88 when I got a
Oh.
Nintendo. Because we had
Oh, no,
television
mine
way
was
back in the day.
past that.
Oh
Like,
my
the
gosh!
Supers were
So your
out.
hair
Yeah.
matched your affinity for like what was trendy at the time. Yeah.
Well, I always ask my mom, "Why did you do this to me?" And she's like, "It was popular at the time." And I was like,
You look fabulous.
she keeps defending it, and I'm like, "Just stop. It's okay. It's all right to say you
I've
made a
forgiven
mistake.
you."
It's all right."
What was your jam back in like 1990 something or whatever?
Yeah.
1990.
So my parents bought me Bible games, and they were fantastic. And they were
Oh
really,
my.
really hard. I had Exodus, the game, which was Moses, and you had to clear these levels with your staff, and you
The games that
not
Angry
even
Video
kidding.
Game Nerd made fun of?
maybe
Yeah,
I
he
had
did. Yeah, he
Joshua, and I had Exodus, and I had Joseph.
Those were
What-
like your game of the years back then?
They were so good, and my dad would play. They were hard. My dad and I would play them together. They
You're
were
like-
really, really good.
Was the cheat code up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right?
I
They were
remember
good.
I remember playing Jesus Theft Auto was fantastic, where he was like stealing camels and he was throwing wise men off the camels and just like throwing them off.
He's like making bread and fish really fast.
And he's running away with
It's
the
not
camel.
a sin because I did it.
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh.
Exactly. And then his respawn took 3 days though. That was the only problem. But
Come
sorry
back
if
and play on
anybody
Tuesday when you get
Oh,
your extra
gosh.
life.
any Christians out there, y'all know the jokes. But hey, what can I say? Jesus love you, buddy. Come on. I'm
I
just
still
playing.
have those games around here. I have the cartridges and my.
Oh,
So-
well, why didn't you live stream them? What the hell are we doing here?
I was
How do
shooting
you live
aliens.
stream from a Nintendo?
I was shooting
I don't
aliens
know.
and you were
You're gonna
herding
find a
sheep
way.
and stuff. Oh my god.
Okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to live stream the religious games with mullet. Get a wig and
I
do
can
it with
do
the
that.
mullet. I want the Eugene mullet, and I want you to live stream the religious games. I think that's a fantastic idea.
I could just get my picture blown up and just like put a cloth, like tie it around my face and cut the eye holes out.
And mouth hole signal. Write in the chat, everyone, what your favorite NES game was back in the day. And if you're too young for that, F you. Yeah.
Anyway, and then I had a PlayStation 1. I
Great.
had and I played the
JTA.
ever loving
is,
heck
JTA.
out of Tekken, the original Tekken,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved.
Like 9
I was
polygons.
a Tekken star. Yes. And I played Gran Turismo quite a bit.
I did too.
Those were the big games that I played.
Did-
And then I didn't Go ahead.
Did Gran Turismo look like real life when you got the game?
Yes, then
Yeah.
it did.
I know. I'm like,
On those-
it looks like real
On
life.
those CC, yeah.
On those CRT TVs, the tube
yes.
TVs, and it was like, you
Yep.
know, it was like 280 by 460 pixels and whatever it was.
Yep.
It looked like real life to me. Yeah.
Mhm.
I almost got Risket and Biscuit for into a car accident. He said he had to pull over because the Jesus Theft Auto stealing camels. He said he almost.
I'm not gonna lie. If you're jacking
said he had to-
camels, if you're hijacking camels in a game, I mean, you play Assassin's Creed Origins. I got to read these chats. We got Sith Lord, who's a member for 24 months. Says my
What's up,
hometown. What's up, Sith? My hometown girl saves another podcast. Good to see you, Holly. Now Mag can rest his arm after he had to carry the show. Xbox 2 puts me to sleep too. Hey, he said it.
Oh,
not
dude,
us, bro.
dude, hey man, if you want some ASMR, listen to that show.
I
You'll
was
fall asleep
running-
in 3 seconds.
I was running a crane for a construction company while I was listening to his show, and I knocked over like 9 buildings because I was falling asleep. So no heavy machinery with the Xbox 2. Me Puppet, thank you for sending the chat. Boner Jams with a $10 super chat says wanted to send a quick thanks to the incomparable Colt Winwood for scheduling a couple of massages for Mag and I. Hot stone therapy will do the trick. Love you guys. Have a great week.
Hot stone therapy is just magnificent. It's just it's a wonderful experience. Yes, if anybody hasn't had that and you have the opportunity to do it, please go do it. It's really great.
Is that where you pass like hot stones? No, it's not. No, it's not.
No. You just lie down naked and they put hot stones on your body. However, like you know the thing is, they're like the
It's
one that I
borderline
went to.
uncomfortable though. Like depending
And
on
I've
how
got
hot they get.
I've got
Yeah, they
very
will burn you.
sensitive, soft skin. Like, and I have no hair on my body. It's really weird.
It's
But
like
I
your
have like
cat.
baby skin. Yeah, basically like my cat.
That's why you like a
So,
cat.
the 3 of us wandering around naked, we look ridiculous. It's just like, wow, there's a bigger cat and 2 other cats. But the thing is,
gosh. No.
the funniest, the very first time I went to one, she had the hot rocks, the hot stones. She had them in a crock pot.
Oh, well, that'll work.
I was
I've
like,
seen them in a crock pot.
it was so funny. I'm like, don't you make stew in there? It's like, so in between the stew, like you take the stew out, you wash it out, and then you throw the rocks in, and then. But anyways, it was magnificent, and
Hot rock
it's
soup.
really great. Yeah, it's really great. And I mean, they're not gonna sear you. It's not like the stones are like super hot. And they're like, take this. You know what I mean? Like it's like, you know, they make sure that it's comfortable enough before they put it on your
the
body.
Demons.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's, you know.
They slap a like piece of chicken on there, and if it doesn't sizzle, they're good. Weeksman87, thank you for the $2 super chat. And another one for $5 says, longtime viewer, first time caller, love the show. I even love Mag. Carry on,
What?
Sony Pony.
You even love Meg? That's incredible. Unbelievable. What
First
did I do
one.
to deserve that?
It's
Yeah.
like the first person to like you, bro.
First
Hargit
person,
Johnny has an absolute banger. Thank you, Hargit Johnny, for the chat. He says, IGN just recommended Xbox over PlayStation. Hashtag PlayStation has no games. On their
That's a
podcast
lie.
with Damon Hatfield, Max, help me out, Holly. I'm blanking on his name. Max
Schofield.
and Stella. They all said, what would you recommend this holiday for Christmas for a console based on what games are out right now? And they all said that they would recommend the Xbox because it's got Indy Jones, Stalker, Flight Sim, and Game Pass. And they said that's undeniable because PlayStation just has Lego Horizon Adventures and no roadmap. Pretty crazy to see. And he goes, and Damien Hatfield, I love this guy. He goes, no one could ever say that we're biased when they see this episode because they know that they get it. So shout out to Hargit Johnny. Risk it says, Colt, I'm going to have to charge you 10% for the use of my panel members and a further 20% for keeping Mag on the show. Checks in the mail.
Yeah. Yep. Mag tax is real.
My good friend Game Seeker, bro, we need to party up this week. He sends a Canadian $10 super chat, says, Colt, Mag, and the blue number, will you be playing South of Midnight with the stop motion animation on or off? Which is toggleable. Off. Holly?
I like stop animation a lot. I'm a little concerned about this game. At the preview, it looked a little off-timed. So it's to be determined because it's still in development. So
Was some
we
of that?
will-
I mean, I think some of that was a stop motion animation, but I am very cautious about South of Midnight. How are you feeling about the game?
For me personally, it's not a game that is high on my radar of excitement. I am gonna play it, but it's not in my, top 5, top 10 of games that are coming out. I thought the combat looked a little it was
Say-
surprising during the June showcase. I didn't love the way the combat looked, but it's such a it's really hard to say right now, like what it's actually going to look like. But that kind of threw me off a little bit during the original. Plus the timing on the stop animation seemed a little off for me too. But
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see. It could be great. I love the art style though. I really like
Same.
the like almost claymation style. I think that's a really unique. Looks nice.
Yeah. Thank you, Lotus Esprit, so much for a $50 super chat. It says at Mag. So now I've got
Thanks,
I'm
buddy.
gonna wire that over to Mag and wire the other one over to Holly. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
your
dude.
support.
Unbelievable. Sorry, that's
Appreciate you.
3 horns for 3 super chats for Lotus Esprit. Mile High Magic, knock it off. Mag puts the lotion
Mile
in
High-
the basket.
Mile High Magic and I go way back to 2011. Probably we used to hang out on the Gamefly app on the activity feed. It was like Twitter before Twitter was never cool. But yeah, we've been on there forever. And he was one of the, I don't know him very well, but he was one of the very few people that wasn't a jerk, believe it or not. And I was a jerk. But yeah, he's just one of those guys that was always nice. Shout out to you, Mile High Magic. Every time I see your name, I'll never forget it. Thank you so much for being here. One more from Risky
go
the
ahead.
Biscuit. It says, everything Jez said is literally what I said. Blue numbers say Riskit was right. Mag, you still here? Colt, great to see you. What a smart aleck.
He is something else, eh? Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Magnum, knock it off. Magnum, he says Mag will
Riskit
spend
says,
that
Colt,
money
you
on
missed my
PlayStation
member
games.
chat. What's that?
Oh,
Magnum?
No, is it Magnum? He's like, Mag will spend that money on PlayStation games. Yeah, and I'm going to stream him with your name in the background. I'm going to put Magnum in the background, and I'm just going to stream it. Go, welcome to the Magnum stream, ladies and gentlemen. where we go-
Sponsored
Yeah, the Magnum sponsored show, and not Magnum condoms, ladies.
condoms.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Magnum's forgetting, spend them on what PlayStation games?
Well, you say that.
Hardy
but
har
three of the
hee haw.
six-
Yeah,
What are
three
you
of
going
the-
to buy?
games
And
this
what's
year.
your next PlayStation game you're going to buy, Mag? And when is that?
Well, 3 of the
Well, I'll
games
sit back.
that nobody else got except for the PlayStation console, which would be Silent Hill 2.
Oh,
which
you
would be
mean the
Stellar
ones
Blade,
that are already out that you haven't played
and
yet?
Final Fantasy 7. It's funny because like a lot of
Yeah.
people go, well, they're really not exclusives. I'm like, well, they actually are because you're not able to get them anywhere else. So that
Oh, by the
kinda-
way,
kind of
did
means
you-
exclusive.
on that
I'm
on that
playing Silent Hill
wavelength.
2 on PC. It's on PC.
But either way, I don't really give a shit what people say. I'm just going to enjoy those games, and I'm going to
know.
play it while other people
I
fight
know.
and argue
Did
and
Jeff
throw
Keighley's
themselves
panel?
off bridges.
Did Jeff Keighley's panel consider Final Fantasy VII Rebirth a PlayStation game? Because they didn't publish it. It's not their IP. It's
No.
not a first party game.
No,
That-
it's
all
not
they did
first
was just
party,
made it
but it's
exclusive.
It's exclusive to PlayStation. So that's
Yeah.
the smart. That's hey man, that's business. That's how you do it, and that's how you get people to do it. Yeah, and people say okay, it flopped or whatever. It didn't flop. It just didn't meet Square Enix's insane. Their projections. Like, remember they did that with Tomb Raider? It's like, well, it only sold 10 million. I'm like, what are you talking about? How is 10 million games not enough? Remember that when they were complaining about Tomb Raider? And I'm like, are you guys out of your minds? What was your projection? Like, how unrealistic is this company? They're so ridiculous. But anyways,
And they're making
I have a
changes.
quick question before I go.
Okay.
Speaking of Square Enix, do you think that Square Enix is going to go full third party for their next offering, or do you think they're going to still have deals with only PlayStation?
I think those are gone, but they have to honor the Final Fantasy VII trilogy crap, which
Okay.
they wish they didn't have to, but they're stuck in that. So yeah, I think they're
Just a
going
question.
forward.
What
I
do you
think every
Holly?
game going forward is multi-platform. Yeah, they're not going to sign with PlayStation anymore. So anyway,
Funny
yeah,
though, Holly was about to say something, and it's
Yeah.
kind of funny. And it's just something. It's just funny to say that. Like, she was going to say, was it 3 out of those 6 games are only
3 out of the
available
6 game award
only available on
nominees are only
PlayStation.
available PlayStation.
Don't
Yikes.
hate the
But-
messenger.
or
Don't
PC.
shoot the
Or
messenger.
PC. Or PC.
Or PC. Yeah.
Black Myth Wukong is on PC.
Oh, sorry, Black Myth Wukong. Yeah, that's
Yeah, well, you know, Black Myth Wukong's only on PlayStation because PlayStation paid to get it on there first. So, yeah, people got so mad when we claimed that, but that's the absolute truth. They paid to get it on there because they wouldn't have got the game at all. Xbox and PlayStation wouldn't have got the game. They were just going to make the PC version, and PlayStation's like, how much to get it on PlayStation?
Yeah,
and
smart move. I mean,
and
it
then-
didn't perform well, but I mean perform like the actual game perform. I didn't mean the sales. I mean,
Yeah.
it didn't like the actual performance with the the performance issues. But
It's rough looking.
I don't know. How was it on the Pro? Does anybody know? Anybody in the chat know? Because I haven't even seen anything about it. Like I haven't seen any hoopla about it on the Pro at all. So,
Yeah, I haven't heard
curious.
any.
Yeah, I haven't heard a
updates.
word about it. The only ones
That
that
is-
people keep talking about is, sorry, Holly, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just going to say there was an article by IGN today, though, about a handful of PS5 Pro games that are actually underperforming the PS5. I don't think that was one of them. It was Silent Hill and
Silent Hill
small
2.
handful.
Yeah, what was the
Mhm.
other ones?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
the
The only ones I
Pro is
keep
having
hearing about in a
problems.
good way is Astrobot, Stellar Blade, and Final Fantasy VII are like the big ones that everybody's like, holy crap, this is like a whole new game almost, whatever. But I haven't heard much of the other ones from the other ones. But anyways, whatever. It's not my concern.
Yeah.
Not my concern.
Holly, thank you for jumping on the show and just hanging out with us. That's really nice of you. It's good to have you here.
I was sitting on the couch in my fat pants eating popcorn watching you guys when I got the fat signal and I was like, through the popcorn. Like, I'll be there in 5.
I
Outstanding.
appreciate you. Yeah, that's awesome. Tell everybody where they can find you if they want to see you on camera and everything. Where are you and what do you do? And why?
Oh, why is a good question. You guys let me know why I'm doing this. On Tuesday nights at 5 p.m. Central, I do a crazy podcast called the Renegade Realm podcast on Red Wolf's channel, and it's for people who try to talk about games and just kind of get lost in foolishness, and that's the best part of it. And then on Friday nights at 6 p.m. Central, on Risk It for the Biscuits channel is the Infinite podcast. And that's it. I'm just hanging out on Xbox and PC and PlayStation and Twitter, all
Call of
at
Duty.
that blue number.
Call of Duty.
Playing Call of Duty. So, yes, I am playing Call of Duty. I will be playing Stalker, though, this week. So,
Okay.
and
Meg,
also Call of Duty.
Yes, sir.
Meg, thank you so much for being tech support on the channel tonight. And
Yeah, well, you know what?
everything
It's
was
funny now.
swimming, bro. Just swimming in goodness. It's great. It's running
Yeah.
great now.
It's running fine now because they did their diagnostics and then they rebooted everything and obviously it's up and running now. But they were working on it and didn't tell anybody until my wife called and complained. And then she's like, "What the hell is going on with the internet?" And they're like, "Oh, well, we're doing this and that." I'm like, you think they could have like just told us ahead of time? You know, in case they didn't realize that there's someone out here that's doing world famous podcasting.
I mean,
and
they
you're
heard of us
interrupting that?
when she called, right?
Of
They were like,
course.
"We're not
They're like-
interrupting X&C,
like,
are we?"
Megan Colt. Holy crap. Guys, get everybody on board. Yeah, immediately.
They're bringing in Holly.
Listen, bring it in, Holly. I'm going to be on Xbox this week, off and on. I'm finished with the campaign, as I was telling you before, the achievements. So I'm sitting at around 700. So to get me over that hump, to get me to that 1,000 out of 1,000, I'm going to need the community's help because we're going to be playing multiplayer and zombies. So let's do a lot of Yes.
Ooh, me.
Which one? Which one?
volunteered for
Multiplayer,
you.
zombies, or both?
Both. I've finished both Easter eggs.
You finished both Easter eggs. Unbelievable. Now I have a quick question for you about the getting the opal. Was it opal and diamond like skins on the guns and all that kind of stuff? Like, and then of course there's the augments for zombies, and I'm like, am I supposed to play this for like 8,000 hours? Like, oh my god, this seems like a bigger grind than First Ascendant.
Yes.
But it is what it is. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to be off and on. You'll find me on Xbox. I am the Mag. I will be playing Call of Duty pretty much all week. On the PlayStation, I'm not really playing any multiplayer games over there. I'm still putting the Pro through its paces and testing out a lot of games. So far, for me personally, it's really impressed me with what's going on. Of course, the new monitor I bought really helps, obviously. But either way, you can follow me there, and you can follow me on all my socials. You know where you can find me, and of course every Monday here on XNC. So everybody have a great night, have a great week. We'll talk to you all next Monday.
Yeah, thank you, Mag. I will be playing a couple of games. And then I think sometime at the end of this week, maybe I'll have a special video about stuff. And then thank you, everybody, for your support on Games Weekly News. That's been a really labor of tough love for me. But you guys have been amazing. Everybody here who watches the show. Holly, thank you so much for being here and jumping in and adding great life to the talk and discussion. And everybody have a great week. We're going to get out of here. And thank you so much. Let me make sure there's nothing left before I sign out. We are good. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to 4XP Gaming for sponsoring the channel. It's in the description. Go order a tub. I'm the white gummy.
Get them while you still can,
Yeah.
because I'm not kidding. If you go to the website, some of them are selling out already. So get them while you can. The availability starting to run short. That means the stuff is popular. Go out there and get it. Get your hands on it, folks.
Yeah. It's a really good alternative because Mag and I are really watching like what we're ingesting, because I'm not drinking Mountain Dew and all the caffeine stuff, and they've got such a great product. I cannot wait for everybody to try it.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. Keep an eye on the channel. I'll probably have more content than normal. I'm really enjoying talking with all of you about gaming news. Thank you so much. Holly, follow her. I'll put her in the description after the thing ends, and then everything's great. Bye, guys. We'll see you next week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.